Is everybody in? Is everybody in? The ceremony is about to begin. What are the humans doing?
Do you think you're ready? Can you handle the truth? Or are you in denial and demanding more proof? They demonstrate in real time how they're spinning you lies, but no one pays attention, no one opens their eyes. They walk around like zombies with their head in the mobiles, signaling their virtues with a pick on their profile. Yeah. Signaling their virtues with a pick on their profile. So if you think you're ready, you don't need more proof. Conspiracy deniers are denying the truth. They fabricate our problems and pretend to provide the best solution, but we all know they lie. They lied about the weapons and they lied about health. They lied about the fact that they're transferring the wealth. You should really notice how they're pushing the fear. Keep everybody terrified and not thinking clear. Yeah. Everybody's not thinking clear. Keep everybody terrified. Yeah, thinking and not thinking. Keep everybody terrified and not thinking clear. When you do, you realize that this is a trick. It's getting really stupid now, they're taking the mic. Said, do you think you're ready? Can you handle the truth? Or are you in denial and demanding more proof? They demonstrate in real time how they're spinning you lies, but no one pays attention, no one opens their eyes. They walk around like zombies with their head in the mobiles, signaling their virtues with a pick on their profile. Yeah. Signaling their virtues on their profile. Hey.
Oh, Sasquatch? Oh, yeah, he's like the Sandy Waxler of YouTubes.
Next time he'll get his own ketchup.
That's Sasquatch.
you saw me freaking out right before we went live that I was screaming that it wasn't going to upload, and I wasn't. That was what I was doing, was that very thing, because I can't leave well enough alone. And I figure if it runs shotgun and shut down and not glitch out, we should be good. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Chilling with Sasquatch, where we generally just look at whatever I happen to have saved in my particular little file over here. And AJOT hasn't seen it. I've looked at a little bit of it, and it's a weird set. Now, we have 3 different stories, and they involve someone who a murder 3 murders is what it comes down to, and 3 different reasons to have been murdered, and none of them make any sense to me. Right?
Right.
Okay. So that's what we're going with, and that's how it's going to work. So before we go any further, let's do this thing over here. According to StreamYard's Cat, which there was someone in here before that, and I can't remember who it was, but C4T Cat gets the gold. Swiss Miss. It was you? Was it you?
It was
okay.
me.
Is that why I sent you the, I'm pretty sure that's why I sent you the invite. Anyway, Strictly Strange gets the silver. Yes, silver. Claiborne County Transparency gets the bronze. Welcome in, folks. And we're giving away a new trophy for basically the trolliest name, and keeping the swan in line is getting the honorary mention for the night, because I really dig that one. That's a good one. It's awesome. We got Bogey Views and New York Outcast. Welcome in. It's good to see you. Danny Stanton's in here. Danny Staten. Sorry. Staten. Danny Staten. You ever heard that man talk a little bit? He digs into them southern accents, baby. Like he really do.
Oh yeah.
What's up, D Johns? Good to see you. Welcome in.
Good John. Much love.
All right. So our first bit of stuff to stare at in space out right is behind the crime. Mind behind the crime. Homie's got 624 subscribers. And he's put together she, it, them, they. What? I don't. Do you care?
No.
I mean, neither. They put together a pretty good video, so we're gonna go with it. Let me do the thing.
To the creator.
To the creator. We who are about to suffer through your content salute you. I don't know. I've looked at a little bit. They're all good enough if you get my drift. Right, some of them have some sound work to do. Some need to spice up the visuals a little bit, but most of them are pretty solid. Just how they are. You'll see what I mean.
Okay.
All right. So first one, when killers meet police at the crime scene, like homie shows up 15 minutes before the cop called him, waited for him. It's like, hey, by the way, I murdered like 19 people over here. I'll be sitting out front waiting for you. How many people? Yeah, no, they're all dead. Don't send no ambulances. Just send some body wagons. Like, I'll be waiting on you. You'll be. Is that a threat? Absolutely not. I'm unarmed. I'm completely out of. These people, we've all heard about them. They're nuts. Do they get a straight trial? I don't know. I say throw them in jail either way, because it's not like they're denying it.
Most killers would try to get as far from the scene as possible, but some prefer to hide in plain sight, pretending to assist law enforcement officers, or even reporting the incident themselves. These are three of the most disturbing incidents in which the killer was first to arrive at the crime scene.
Is he breathing? Oh my God! My husband is dead. Okay, is that your husband? My husband's freaking out. Yes, it's my friend. Wait, no other. Elizabeth, outside. Ma'am. She's on the floor. There's blood everywhere. Oh my God! He has his eyes all blue in the back of his head. Holding the pillow.
In May 2017, Ohio police were sent out to the sleepy town of Bel Air after a distress.
All right. So after the last chat I had in here that was absolutely abstract, can we kind of sort of keep it in the general? Look at this madness. Look at this. Do you see this?
Yeah.
You see this? What if D. John's made mustard? Would it be D. John's mustard? Well, that's not what we're talking about tonight. Tonight we're talking about murderers, mistresses, and some chick that wanted to be eaten or something.
Well, maybe one of those like mustard.
I think there was some communication issues. What's up, Black Watch? Good to see you, bud.
Sorry.
Hi, how you doing? I mean, think about it. I'm pretty sure none of these people wanted what happened to happen, and then it happened, and then this chick apparently calls the cops herself. She's like, "Hey, by the way, these people are dead." That's wild.
Play that
911 call.
Do what?
Nothing.
What?
What?
What was that?
Play the video.
Okay. Go
Call from Sherry Kinney. Sherry tells the operators two things. One, the victim is her husband, David Kinney's longtime friend. Two, that they discovered the victim at his own home with a gunshot wound to the head. The couple remained there until the police showed up to confirm the victim, Brad McGarry, dead in his basement.
I can't believe that.
How long you guys been looking?
8, 9 years. Oh yeah. My kids call him Uncle. He's supposed to go to the Bahamas with us and all.
That is some crazy ass bullshit.
I can't.
Sherry's husband, David, is also visibly upset.
Okay, who's most upset here?
What, between her or him?
This picture right here, you see these three guys standing here. One of those, I believe, is a cop, and then you have the wife and the husband, and their friend is dead in there on the couch or whatever.
I mean, if
Who
we're
here is
talking
upset?
about, none of them are upset, probably. Now,
Whatever. No, chat. Which one of these two people in front of you do you think did it? Or did they conspire?
They had to conspire. It's
You
wife
think they
and
conspired?
husband, for sure.
He looks pretty distraught to me.
Maybe looks, but sounds, the sound of his voice, it just sounds
Okay,
weird.
let's check that out then. Let's take a good look at this. We'll start back over here where you can start hearing it.
The victim is her husband, David Kinney's longtime friend. 2, that they discovered the victim at his own home with a gunshot wound to the head. The couple remained there until the police showed up to confirm the victim, Brad McGarry, dead in his basement.
I can't believe that. How long you guys been looking?
8, 9 years.
Oh, yeah.
My kids call him Uncle. We're supposed to go to the Bahamas with us and all.
All right, so this chick on the left to me appears to be on every form of Xanax known to man. That dude looks upset.
It's not real.
Okay.
Like her voice on the phone call, was way more distraught than how he's acting, if you ask me.
Oh, New York Outcast done solved the whole script. He got life insurance just like last week. Best friend was beneficiary because fuck that bitch. Right? He's just sussed the whole thing out. And Strictly Strays has some dating advice for everyone. He's got a point. Not going there is the safest method.
Right?
I'm sorry. I can't I'm not supposed to see that.
Sherry's husband, David, is also visibly upset. He and the victim were very close friends. According to David, he discovered the gruesome scene when driving over to bring his buddy a grass trimmer.
Yes, sir. We come to the basement door.
I'm calling shenanigans. A meth head returning a trimmer? That's bullshit.
Why does it have to be a meth head, man? I mean,
Okay, crackhead, a drunk returning a trimmer. All of it, bullshit. Even worse, he meant to return it. He didn't pawn it. Forgot it was.
And that's another reason why I'm saying it's fake. It's fake acting because they were so close. I would think that he would be way more.
What's up, Scully? Good to see you, bud. Out
of it than he is now. But
the smoking auditor. Did I call that right or what? Meth head did not return a trimmer. That did not happen. It's not among the things that happened in this universe. Checks out, right? Facts detected.
Is the weed whacked a motorized flashlight? Keeping the swine once.
Watch yourself.
Because my daughter knocked on the front door. I told her, I said, Sis, go knock on the back door. She went up and knocked on the back door. Door was open. I went up right behind her. I noticed that the kitchen was scattered. There was stuff all over there. I told my wife, I said, Sherry, something's wrong.
David, Sherry, and their daughter Elizabeth searched the house to find it in a clear state of disarray. When they checked the back door, they found the body of Brad McGarry lying face down in a...
Wait, what's the donut?
Basement.
What's the donut sound effect? Straight whacker. It's like bird song. I can't sing, but I can imitate. All right, back to the basement, huh?
There was stuff all over there. I told my wife, I said, Sherry, something's wrong.
David, Sherry, and their daughter Elizabeth searched the house to find it in a clear state of disarray. When they checked the back door, they found the body of Brad McGarry lying face down in a pool of his own blood.
But I thought he
David
was in
and
the
Sherry
basement.
explain all this in clear, concise detail, cooperating calmly with the local law enforcement.
Cooperating
However,
calmly.
it doesn't take long for officers to notice a few suspicious details. The house was indeed ransacked, but no valuables were taken. It's quickly assumed that the robbery was therefore staged. Another red flag.
Listen, people, listen. This is straight from the soul of Sasquatch. If you're gonna fake a robbery, you're gonna lose some shit. You have to lose some stuff that would matter to you. You can't just be like, oh shucks, I guess they took some stuff. They got a pencil and a couple
But
of
it's
gems.
not even their house; it's his house. Which show if they were staging it, they should have done it properly. No.
I thought it was their house and he would stay with them.
See, now I'm confused because then they said they found him in the basement, and then they were talking. They came in through the back door. So is the back door coming in the basement?
Wait a second. They showed the house. They showed the house. Hold up. Right. They showed the house, and it's one of these weird split level jobs, right? So in the basement might be the back door. You see that?
I've never. I mean, I get the whole split thing, but I've never seen the back door. Only in the basement. Never. It still don't make sense to me. But moving on.
Now, when you look over here, the very next house they show is a trailer for some reason. I don't understand why the trailer's in this mix, right? I doubt that place has a basement. Right.
See? It don't make sense.
A walk-in basement. Woo, we highfalutin now. I hear you. That's big money, baby. Flex.
I mean, you can walk in every basement.
You have to say they took your jewelry and small expensive electronics and anything. See, the smoking auditor is a straight crook. He knows how this works. His brother's a crackhead or something. I have no idea how he knows all of this, but he gets the real dope. We call that streetwise, not swamp wise.
Yeah, did they say what area this was in? I'm sorry, I might have missed that.
Not yet.
Okay.
I mean, we can back up all the way to the beginning if you want to.
Although I would love that, I'm sure your chat would not, or people watching.
I don't think
we don't have to do that.
We're over here talking to each other. I don't care about doing it for me. Oh no, something just blinked. Anybody else notice that blink? That was creepy.
Yep.
Is that despite the gunshot wound, no firearm was found anywhere in the premises. Quite suspicious, if you ask me.
Oh, the picture of the trailer that you thought? Did you see?
Right.
Okay, so it's the top half of that house because on the side there's a hill.
It's the other side, right? Split level.
Right. Okay.
So the back door is downstairs on this side, and there's probably a deck or something up above right there, or some such. Oh wow.
Glitching.
No, I don't think so. I'm just trying to read an email.
Oh.
That's the case. It wasn't no suicide.
The police began to interview friends and family of the victim in an attempt to form a timeline. That's when Brad's cousin provides some shocking information.
Sunday, we went to Grammy's. We were sitting around the table. It was just me and Brad and Heather, which is another cousin of mine. And he made a comment how this DJ guy, he was coming over. Brad's intent was it was romantic. He made a joke about taking a nap. And it wasn't taking a nap. He was insinuating that they were having sex. It was like quotation marks.
This was Sunday.
This was Sunday.
He was killed.
Yes.
What time did he leave?
Between 1:30 and 2.
Really?
Yes, he was supposed to. He was dropping all the tuxes off. I also know that he was married. They've been married.
Who told you that?
Brad did.
Brad told you?
Yeah. She, being the wife, didn't know all this time.
Is Auntie at Jack in chat? Have we seen him yet?
No.
Well, you remember we had that conversation about rogue mods right before I went live? I went through and like unmodded a few people, and I may have unmodded him, and I don't remember because there was like, I mean, I had like 50 people modded, right?
Okay.
Oh, good, Samuel. I'm glad you're here. We need something to suck all of the fun out of the
Well,
room.
I love you.
I was just hoping Carrie would show up and be the dark portal of hell that he because he's so lovable and funsy, right? You know, he's the kind of guy I always figured that you'd turn around and realize he's a brony, like a closet brony, like nobody knows. No one knows. Not even like his 15 ex-wives have any idea. Something like that. I don't know. I don't know. Sorry. I just interrupted everybody for no apparent reason. Where were we at? We was doing some shit.
They were talking about sex. Talking about sex, baby.
Okay. We'll back it up just a hair. And them, and another guy. It's all about and
I'm
you.
gonna say you and me, but you know, that might start a rumor with your super sperm, you know, and all that going on.
Swimming up river, running 30 miles across the desert with a backpack. All right. No. That's not how I roll. See, it's all about me and you and her and her and her and her.
Oh no, I'm not in that hurry.
Heather, which is another cousin of mine, and he made a comment how this DJ guy, he was coming over. Brad's intent was it was romantic. He made a joke about taking a nap, and it wasn't taking a nap. He was insinuating that they were having sex. It was like quotation marks.
This was Sunday.
This was Sunday.
He was killed.
Yes.
What time did you leave?
Between 1:30 and 2.
Really?
Yes, he was supposed to. He was dropping all the tuxes off. I also know that
How hungry are you?
I told you that.
Brad did.
Brad told you.
Yeah, she being the wife didn't know all this time. They've been doing this for years. From what I understand, with them, Brad and DJ kind of, I don't know if they laid low or they.
What?
Did she say cheating wife? I
think
heard
so.
cheating, but I didn't see it.
I think so. Taking a nap. He was insinuating
that they were having sex. It was like quotation marks.
This was Sunday.
This was Sunday.
He was killed.
Yes.
What time did you leave?
Between 1:30 and 2.
Really?
Yes, he was supposed to.
Heard that.
He was dropping all the tuxes off. I also know that he was married. They've been married.
I told you that.
Brad did.
Brad told you.
Yeah, she being the wife didn't know all this time. They've been doing this for years. From what I understand, the two of them, Brad and DJ, kind of, I don't know if they laid low or they completely broke up. I guess they call him DJ or David Kenny.
Really?
After this breakthrough, the case takes a whole new turn. If David and Brad were in a romantic relationship for several years without Sherry or many of their friends knowing, then he immediately...
Okay, first of all, bro code bullshit. If he was involved with a chick for years, his 3 best friends helped him do it.
What do you mean if he was involved with the chick?
Okay, so they were probably his best friends when he met that chick and when he met his wife. So I guarantee you
that chick that was talking,
homies, whichever one, both of them.
Wait.
Bro code says that you lie to everybody.
That girl was saying that them 2 homies were doing it.
Right.
Okay.
And then the other 2 homies were married. And the
ones that called, yes,
are
married, yes, got it.
Right.
So if the relationship was real, maybe she got jealous.
She's catting him back in the head.
And maybe he didn't know what to do, so he's just going along with it. I don't know. Let's go.
All right. I like that. Oh yeah, that's pretty spiffy.
He becomes a suspect. After taking David's phone, detectives are able to confirm the sexual relationship between the 2 men.
There it is.
Messages, as
He called it.
as the most damning
Who's
detail
this girl?
That David's
who is that girl?
Man's house.
You don't know?
I'm not 100% clear on who that chick is. This is one of my complaints with this video, is that all the information is there.
Well, not all
but it's so condensed that it's not well positioned to understand. I'm sure all of this will be clear in the end, but you'll have to think back on it to figure it out. That drives me nuts. We should have like a syllabus issued to us before we watch this fucking shit, because I have no idea what the fuck is going on. Okay. But I'm terribly riveted.
At the time of the murder, upon further investigation, footage from a neighbor's doorbell camera revealed that David
dumbass
house in
right.
his wife's car
It's always the ring
several
camera.
hours before eventually returning again. This with his family.
Dumbass.
You were at his house. Yes, sir. Oh, God. You know exactly when he was killed. Yes, sir, I know. You're there when he was killed. No, sir, I was not at his house when that man was murdered. Sir, I can't. This is the guy.
Yeah, you know, cry for mama. Cry for mama.
During questioning, David Kinney attempts to deny the allegations of his whereabouts and quickly breaks down.
I'll lose everything. Lose your wife, lose your kids. This don't have to be the end of your life. Got a chance to come clean.
So I don't know if this was intentional or an actual mistake, but Capty Mustard in the parkour with a big stick is not the game we're playing right now.
Clue.
It's a clue, All right, boys and girls. It was the homosexual man against the homosexual man with the woman who wasn't getting no D.
Who had the big stick?
All right. One of them big purple double-headed jobs with a bite half. Some of you might know what I'm talking about.
The detective employs a common interrogation tactic by trying to earn David's trust. By doing so, he hopes to win the truth by having David confess himself.
Hello, I'm Zaxxon. Welcome to the party.
But instead of owning up to the murder, he paints a picture in which a third romantic partner of Brad's is responsible for the crime.
I hear what you're saying. I really do. You're right. Most people take their phone with them in their pocket. They just walk out the door with their phone, and later the police are like, "The fuck was your phone doing 6 inches away from this guy when he got shot 19 times?"
Well, and I wouldn't be using my own car either. I mean,
right? Alder, actually, most of the folks I would call for that ride are dead. So,
and it was during the day. I mean, hello?
Okay, no. First of all, that's not an issue. I know you think it is, but capping somebody during the day under the right circumstances has worked time memorial. Thousands of mobsters have been capped just that way.
I'm sure. But we're talking about amateurs who are in a level.
All right, this is a inbred like freaking. I mean, look at these people. Look at this guy. He's looking for love in all the wrong places.
Sure. You have another guy with you. I don't know who he was. I don't know his name. What happened next? He went in the garage. It's okay.
All right, hold on. I know what you're fixing to say. I know what you're saying right now. I'm already on it. You're such a slave driver, I swear.
I am not.
Tell me.
I'm a big thief.
You heard the gunshot? The guy came running out of the garage. He got to Brad's BMW. And then I left.
At this point, the detective knows that David is lying. Given the location of both Brad and David's vehicles, his story is just not possible. And even if it were, it doesn't fit with David's motives.
For
As
what?
we can see, the detective simply cannot hide his disgust.
What did I do?
Why did you call the cops? Why did you do this elaborate story? Why did you put your own daughter in that basement with that body?
Everybody say it with me together now. I think I'm done talking to you. I would like to see my lawyer. Hey, Jot, your turn.
Oh, the stupidity rolls and
would like to see my lawyer is the key phrase that I would like everyone to take home with them. Put it in their pocket and whip that thing out the very first
Can I
time.
even begin to talk without a lawyer?
True, absolutely true. But the very second you think you're helping, right? You're going to help out. You're doing a good service for your community. You're not involved.
This is not that video, Sasquatch.
I understand. But when that guy slams his hand down on that table trying to break your attention to get your body language to change or whatever, immediately, this should be the immediate response. I'm done talking to you. I would like to speak to my lawyer.
He was doing it doggy style and just popped him in the head.
What is it those guys say? Shut the fuck up. The lawyer guys all say, shut the fuck up. You I'm singing show tunes. I don't know what to tell you. I can't do it. I know that much. What's up, Rumsky? Good to see you, bud. Scotty Waddles, welcome in. Scully's House of Thrillers. Yep.
You did that? Yes, sir. And you knew he was down there. Damn it! What's you and your family? Sir, tell me what happened. I did not kill him. You knew Brad was dead? Did you brought your I did not know he was dead.
He's doing the daughter thing.
Interrogation.
What did he do?
I said he's grilling him, about the daughter thing.
Yeah.
How could you do that?
Right. That's dirty.
Dirty.
Nasty.
It really is. I mean, think about it.
I know. I don't want to.
The truth eventually emerges. On the day of the killing, Brad and David got into an argument after Brad asked him to leave his wife and commit to their relationship. Things soon got physical. According to David, Brad was the one to pull out a gun before he eventually took it from him. And
tell you what you do. You go and get you a city water and power van, one of those toolbox bed trucks. You stick you a sticker on the side of the fucker. You drive up to somebody's house wearing a blue uniform with a hard hat. You walk in and say you have to do some radon testing or something. You carry a breathalyzer with you and a fucking pistol. You cap that motherfucker twice in the back of the head when you walk through the damn door. You close the door behind you and you get in your van and drive off. Leave that bitch right up there downtown next to the Department of Water and Power with the sticker pulled back off.
I'm running the compass.
It's not like I didn't read it in a million fucking. I mean, go check out the mob. Go take a good look.
So he's going to claim self-defense. Is that what I'm kind of getting at? I mean, that's what he's saying now.
I don't think that's going to work after you've tried to.
I get that, but I mean, from what the story was to what it just got told, that's kind of where we're at. Are we on the same page? Because you said Brad pulled the gun and he took the gun from him. So
no. That's the pitch that the cops giving him to try to get him to confess to having been involved in the murder. So far, the man has not confessed yet, but he's guilty of refried sin.
Obviously,
I think so. Allegedly.
What happened after you grabbed it? I pushed him. Okay. What happened?
Though he pled not guilty in court, David Kinney was convicted for the aggravated murder of Brad McGarry in February 2018. While David,
regardless of what I might or might not have been, I'm retired.
tried to cover up his crime, this next killer couldn't help but brag about their involvement to the very officers themselves.
So the wife had nothing to do with it.
On the 25th of July of...
You saw that woman. I don't know what she had to do with. Apparently not a whole lot. Because there's some kind of sausage fest going on over here that she wasn't invited to, I'm imagining. So I'm sure that every good man has a woman behind it, and most good murders do too. Somewhere in this stack, there's a woman. The straw that broke the camel's back. Drop that one line when you was leaving, you know. It's like, and not gonna be like that last Tuesday. No, that's it, y'all. Straight group shooter. We're going live.
2022, Adrian Ellingford was discovered dead in his own home in Chelmsford, England, with 2 stab wounds. After arriving at the scene, the investigation is disrupted by a man wearing a white shirt, whom police would later identify
What's up, Mitch?
as
Good to see you, bud.
Echo.
Who are you looking for?
I'm looking for a I can help her. What's going on?
Uniform one night.
All right, I want to log my protest on this guy based off of what he's wearing.
What?
I trust him, to be honest with me. I'm going to assume this man is lying from this moment forward.
Be safe, Strictly.
Yeah, you have a good one, bud. Don't let the man get you down.
What's going on? Yeah.
Visibly drunk and carrying an open bottle of brandy.
Oh, that is not a good sign. See? I read them like a book, dude. Saw that one from a mile away, bro. Sorry, this man is untrustworthy. He's walking down the street with a $200 decanter in his hand. He's clearly robbed somebody. Obviously. Oh my Lord, what are we coming to?
Man's suggestions that he can aid the investigation is unconvincing, to say the least.
No, I know what happened. I know the people they involved. So
Go again.
Marek claims to have inside knowledge of the crime that has taken place, but when the officer asks for basic details, such as his name and how he came to be acquainted with the scene, he quickly turns defensive.
What's your name?
I'm not gonna tell you my name. I don't give a because I know what happened. And you need me to know, figure it.
Like I said, Smoking Honor has done some dirty shit in his past. This man nailed it. He nailed exactly what the issue was. I want to know why he's wearing a medium shirt when it should be.
No, not a medium. It's a
medium. Why he's wearing a medium shirt when it should be a large, at least a large. My man looks like he might have spent some time inside already. Hashtag just saying, though, don't drop the soap.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Figure it out what happened. If you don't have me, you don't know what happened.
Would you be fooled by a man like this? Likely not, and neither are the police.
All right. All right. Hold on. That just put me in one of my little flash. Right? So there's this movie. It's during the blaxploitation era of filming.
That's his little brother, sure.
And there's this line that is repeated over and over again by this old gentleman who his son is overdosed or something. And I think it might be one of the Dolomite movies, something like that. It's along those lines. And what he says is, you have to tell me what it is that he has had. He says that line like 10 times, yelling at some dude who supposedly knows apparently what it is that he has had. You got to tell me what it is that he has had. So when I hear someone talk like this dude, like this guy right here, right?
Taken place, but when the officer asks for basic details, such as his name and how he came to be acquainted with the scene, he quickly turns defensive.
What's your name?
I'm not gonna tell you my name. I don't give a because I know what happened. And you need me to know, figure it out what happened. If you don't have me, you don't know what happened.
Would you be fooled by a man like this?
If you don't have me, you don't know what.
And neither are the police. Once he has earned their suspicion, his tactics change.
I just know there's some guy.
All right. So she said something about his breath. I guarantee you she said something about his breath. And so now he's saying, happened. That stuff is a little spicy. Probably like a drag on.
Or he's trying to get her to, smell it. I mean, the way he says it. Happened.
He wants her to know how drunk he is.
I guess. I mean,
There
he
you go.
did walk up with the fucking bottle in his hand. You know
He's got brandy over there. He's heading for tonight. He's not currently drinking it. This is the one error in his decision-making process. He should definitely be finishing that bottle before talking to this officer. I would be sitting right over there on that bench, just finishing this bottle, because they're going to take me to jail here in just a little while.
Right, I would make them come to me. I wouldn't walk up to right. I'd be sitting around, on
be
the
hard.
corner or whatever, drinking. Yep.
I'm not doing no 200-mile-an-hour chase. Nothing like that's going to happen. I'll be sitting over yonder quietly somewhere. You might not even notice me if you ain't looking,
Right.
which is a vast divergence from my usual personality. when I become the quiet one, you need to start worrying.
Yeah.
And he up some guy. I don't know what happened.
Right.
I don't know what happened. He just got. You're gonna think about me, but it's not gonna be me because there's no proof.
Oh my! What is?
So you think something's happened to a male in this address?
No, I know what happened.
What
I know
happened then?
everything.
Tell
I
me
know
what
everything.
happened.
This city is mine. I'm not gonna.
This
tell you
city's
what-
yours.
Oh,
Yeah, this city is.
Brooklyn, what are you doing up on TV?
At the victim's home and taunting the police with nothing but an
My
inflated sense of ego and a bottle of brandy. It will come as no surprise to you that this man was, in fact, the murderer in question.
Stop that. naughty girl.
Sorry, I mean it was.
Okay, all right, but Nick.
You've been arrested, okay? We're trying
I've been arrested.
We're
Yes,
trying,
so send me the law.
We're trying not.
Okay,
we're trying
send me.
not to manhandle you, but we need you to get in the van.
It turns out that Adrian was having an affair with Marek's former partner, Stephanie Bream, whom Marek had apparently become extremely obsessed with after they split up in May of that year. After discovering the two in bed together, Echo became enraged and stabbed Adrian to death.
All right, so I still have an issue
Right,
with
you can't fix stupid.
that he didn't see. Yeah, you can't fix stupid. That's true. You can attempt to educate, but that don't mean it's gonna stick. That's one of those horse and water situations. I mean, you can't make them drink, dude. You chase them all up and down the damn stream, and they won't do it if you think fucking horses.
In February 2023, he was found unanimously guilty and sentenced to life in prison. As I'm sure we can agree, Marek proved that you should never return to your own crime scene at all, let alone
disavow.
While his performance was laughable, the actions of this next suspect are deeply disturbing.
Somebody got in the house and attacked me and my husband, and I'm all bloody, and I'm an old woman.
In July of 2014, local police were called out to the home of Harriet and Rupert Anderson, an elderly couple living in Des Moines, Iowa. Upon arrival, the detectives could see nothing out of the ordinary, but as they entered the home, they discovered something absolutely horrifying.
Help. They're on their way there now. Okay. And I'm on the floor, and my husband's been hit in the head.
Is it safe to say that she has fallen?
Yes.
I can't get up.
Yes.
Excellent.
I've been beat on the head. Don't hang up, okay? Don't hang up, Harriet. My head hurts. I'm laying in the hallway.
The home held evidence of brutal violence. Blood was splattered all over the walls and carpet. The elderly couple were both bound on the floor, suffering severe blunt force trauma to the head. So severe that Rupert later succumbed.
Scotty, are you speaking from experience, bro?
You can't make it think.
That is some creepy shit to say to somebody. I'm terrified. Dear God, I hope you're in some foreign land. Oh my God, you're out there somewhere.
Come to his injuries and was pronounced dead in the hospital. Despite the overwhelmingly tragic state in which this elderly couple was discovered, investigators couldn't help but focus on strange details captured in the squad car's dash cam footage. A young man is seen hovering suspiciously at the door. Strangely, the officers and camera crew accompanying them both.
He did it.
Hmm?
Seems to be the theme here.
Barged straight past him without even asking for his name. Ignored by the police, this man simply.
Can you imagine being that inept bastard the next morning? Seeing this on TV and going, well, I had that opportunity right there to at least ask, what are you doing here? There's a dead man in here. What are you doing here? That's one of those probable cause situations, I suspect.
Yeah.
I might be wrong. I mean, we might be violating some amendments.
I mean, considering, that's someone's private home, right? And
as far as I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Might be a project house. I don't know if that fudges the lines there or not. I don't know.
Walked away from the scene with Harriet and Rupert Anderson's blood still on his clothes. However, in a rare turn of events, the officers were accompanied.
Wait. Homie,
so he was covered in blood.
What he expected them to put cuffs on him, but they just stared him down and backed him off and walked inside.
I mean, he is right there by the motherfucking door.
Sounds legit. No, these are professional cops. This makes perfect sense.
Professional.
It's a Fad Daddy. I mean, it checks out all the way down the line. Every single box has been ticked. Cops. On a bureaucracy, bureaucrats.
Accompanied by a camera crew from the TV show Cops, who caught a clear footage of the stranger at the door. This footage was a saving.
Oh, Mom. Dude. All right, so I can't fault the guy. I can't fault the guy on this. Yes, he is wrong. He should not have killed anyone. But I firmly believe he had every intentions of turning himself in until the cops wouldn't talk to him. And then he walked away.
I mean,
not fleeing.
I would hope so.
He went and got a Slurpee. I think he comes back. That's not fleeing the scene. You cannot charge him with fleeing the scene because he was told to leave. So he left. Am I wrong? All you YouTube lawyers out there, y'all jump on that shit and tell me if I'm wrong.
Grace
in the comments, folks.
The suspect who slipped through their fingers. Using the recorded footage, the suspect was identified as 19-year-old Ngor Makue, who was brought in for questioning that night.
Well, that might be relative.
Makue. He performed a disturbing monologue.
Well, it's crazy, man. This world is truly crazy. The truth will prevail. The truth will reveal itself. So, this is crazy.
That's him talking.
This is crazy. I'll never do nothing evil. That's not me. I know myself, man. I understand myself like pretty well. I know what I would do and what I wouldn't do. Nothing crazy or savage. No, that's not me.
This rambling testimony could suggest that Ngor was in a state of psychosis, or that he was simply rehearsing his excuses he would tell the detectives. Another explanation for Ngor's behavior is provided in the testimony of his mother, Ethiopian immigrant Nyanyul Padiet.
I have some beer. Some beer? Yeah, and some liquor. Yeah. Called Captain Morgan. Yeah. Yeah. So I just put them in a table.
No. No, sir. Do not do this. I would, as a cop, if I find you standing there with a camera covered in blood,
No, because you were going. Oh wait, no, you were on my team the other night. Never mind. Go ahead. That'd be cool.
Wait. Were you just going for clout points? What was that?
I was saying no, because you were, everybody was smashing on me about the fake drug bag, and then it's like, oh no, he was one of the ones on my side. So go ahead.
I'm just saying. No.
No, that'll be bad. You will definitely get arrested.
What was it? Hold on, I got it. He's from far enough south. He should get this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, listen to Papa Squatch over here. Don't do this. None of you. I love all you guys. None of y'all go do what he just suggested. Here, let me put it on the screen again.
Smoking on it, or we need a, need that. I'll have the fake drugs. You can be covered in blood.
Yeah, y'all are going to jail for 25 years. Both of you. You're going up for the murders for all of Murder Inc. Like the whole Wolverine squad hit list is yours. Morons. I'm gonna sit out here in the free world and laugh at you motherfuckers. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show your videos and tell people about how I used to know her before she lost her fucking mind and went to jail. I mean, proud you in the ass prison, not just
table because I need to put food in the fridge. My son came behind me. I didn't see him. He take the cup and take the Martin, Captain Morgan, yeah, rum, yeah. He go to the bathroom. He lock the door. So then the dream went that door. The liquid you can take somebody had. Yeah. Okay. So I did hug my daughter. Who did this? The 13-year-old? Yeah, the 13 years old. He told me it was your son. Nor.
If Ingor had been drinking, that may explain some of his strange behavior in the interview room. But I have a hunch that there is more to blame than just alcohol for this unsettling behavior.
Why you drink? So over there, he told me, "Okay, Mom, stop. I'm going out to walk."
According to his mother, Ingor went for a...
I'm going to go back, re-edit this bit, and right here, I'm going to put in Rick James saying cocaine is a hell of a drug. I'm going to cut this bit out right here, and I'm going to put that in.
walk soon after he drank. His parents continue to be open and honest with the officers, but what continues to evade everyone is Ingor's motive.
No, I haven't.
You have a pet, right?
No.
No dog?
No dog.
Okay. Have you ever talked to anybody there or know anybody that lives there?
No, I don't know anyone or talk to anyone, but I see cars sometimes go and leave. And
regroup, reload. We're obviously dealing with an individual of diminished capacity. Make sure it's a long rope.
Yeah. You've never been over there or on the property at all or knocked on the door or anything?
No, man.
Okay.
After a long and tenuous interrogation, Ingor sets his own alibi. He spent the day practicing backflips at the park and never stepped foot on the Anderson residence. The detectives are well aware that this is untrue, as they have footage from multiple different angles identifying him at the crime scene. So what is really going on? Does Ingor truly have no recollection of his acts earlier that day? Or was all that rambling practice for this web of lies?
I opened the door. Okay. And your mom even said, yeah, that's Nor. Your stepdad said, yeah, that's Nor. Okay. They have no reason to lie about it. You know, they know you. They're
honest people. They're honest people.
I'm not here to be the bad guy.
Yeah. Guess who was there tonight?
Cops.
Yeah. Imagine that. So you know what happened tonight. Okay. You know where you're at. You know what went on. This is your opportunity to be truthful and honest. You're dancing around it. There's a couple different types of people in life. Okay? You're there. You've got blood on your clothes.
It did work well because
you're there. That's all there is to it.
Hold up, this man might have been doing more than practicing being a ninja. Them cops didn't see his asses all. Them cops didn't see shit when they walked in. They didn't even notice that man. He walked up, was like, "Hey," and they was like, "Leave us alone. We're busy, son. We're doing cop stuff."
I mean, he had the evidence all over him.
It's like, okay, I'll go get me a Slurpee and come back. A burrito.
I was hanging with that film.
But I got high.
The authorities tackle Ingor's ignorance head on with a direct line of inquiry, utilizing multiple parts of the read technique by confronting him, developing a theme, and attempting to provide him alternatives. Still, Ingor gives them nothing.
Your story? That's what you're going to go down with? Is that story?
That's all I remember. So I got no choice.
I don't believe you. How could you not remember? That's the biggest lie. Come on, Nor.
If you don't believe me, what am I supposed to do?
Who would believe that? Who would believe that? I would be an idiot to believe that.
What else say you guys? Guess you guys got to go based off of that.
Well, it's pretty good facts, isn't it? Really good facts, actually. We don't usually get this lucky. You're not going to tell me.
What the fuck did I just hear? Hold on. What the actual shit was that?
If you don't believe me, what am I supposed to do?
Who would believe that? Who would believe that? I would be an idiot to believe that.
What else say you guys? Guess you guys got to go based off of facts.
Well, it's pretty good facts, isn't it? Really good.
Facts. I thought she was saying sex. Pretty good sex, wasn't it? I was like, what the hell is that? No, facts. It's all facts. Facts detected so far. Yes. Gotcha.
Facts, actually. We don't usually
My
get
mind's
this
not in
lucky.
the gutter.
You're not going to tell me anything different.
He ended up playing dumb until the very end. The footage of Ingor standing at the door was ultimately the pivotal piece of evidence in this case.
My man got busted on a Cops episode. Ain't even aired.
He was eventually convicted of murder in the first degree and sentenced to life in prison in January of 2016.
On October 13th, 1996,
All right, hold up. We need the info. All right, so this is the kisses part of it. Wrong button. I need the right button. Because we do it all upside down and backwards now. That's the way we do it. That's why everything's hard to find. Really? Somebody check that link, see if it actually works. Because that is the tiniest freaking channel name I've ever seen in my life. I wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't like a freaking Wave browser link or something. Anyway, where were we at? Before I was so rudely interrupted by Sasquatch. That should be another show, Interrupted by Sasquatch.
35-year-old Sharon Lopaka left her Hampstead, Maryland home to travel to North Carolina. Sharon had told her husband Victor that she was traveling to Georgia to visit friends. 1 week later, Victor was surprised to discover a mysterious note written by his wife suggesting instead a bizarre, clandestine trip. Victor immediately called the police, who looked for evidence of Sharon's whereabouts on her computer. They found emails suggesting that Sharon had visited someone in Lenoir, North Carolina. On October 25, 1996, North Carolina police found Sharon's decomposing naked body buried a short distance from the trailer of the person she went to visit. Her hands and feet had been bound with rope, and a nylon cord had been strung around her neck. Investigators also found scrape marks around her neck and breasts. According to the Associated Press, the medical examiner determined that she died of strangulation, the violent death Sharon had wished for. Sharon Denberg was the oldest of 4 daughters born to Mr. and Mrs. Abraham J. Denberg in 1961. The family lived in a suburb of Baltimore, Maryland. Sharon Denberg's parents were devout Orthodox Jews who were active in the...
All right, so as you can see, this guy's much more in depth. This is Serial Killers documentaries, which explains the SKD bit. That's pretty clever. I like that.
The Beth Philo congregation. Abraham Denberg was, in fact, a cantor at Beth Philo, Baltimore's largest Orthodox Jewish synagogue. His daughter Sharon had been active in sports, sang in the school choir, and was perceived by classmates to be as normal as you can get, wrote the North Carolina News and Observer on November 3, 1996. In 1991, Sharon married Victor, a Catholic, and an Ellicott City, Maryland construction worker. Sharon's parents did not approve of the marriage. A former high school classmate told the Washington Post on November 3, 1996, that the marriage was Sharon's way of breaking away. Sharon.
So she hooked up with a dude, run away from daddy with daddy issues. Seems legit.
Sharon moved with her husband to a small ranch-style tract house in Hampstead, Maryland in the early 1990s. They had no children. Sharon began several small internet business ventures from her home to make some extra money. In her business, Classified Concepts, she rewrote ad copy for advertisers for $50 per ad. She also operated several other websites, where she sold psychic readings and advice. On the sites, Sharon would also post ads selling other services with a 1-900 number, for which she would receive a percentage of the revenue. Another way she made money was by advertising pornographic videos. Under the pseudonym Nancy Carlson, Sharon sold videos of unconscious women having sexual
Well, that's extreme. Ravenall? Much? I mean, geez, chick. Does that seem like a wholesome trade? I just don't think so.
intercourse. According to the Augusta Chronicle on November 4, 1996, one excerpt from her ad from October 1, 1996, stated that she had just made a video of actual women, willing and unwilling to be knocked out, drugged, under hypnosis and chloroformed.
Hypnosis?
Sharon even went so far.
Hold on. I heard a conspiracy theory the other day, right? And they were talking about how all of this space travel stuff has all been faked. And I was like, you're going to have to give me a more compelling argument than just because I said so. You're going to have to hit me with something, that actually holds weight. And he's like, do you know what Rule 34 is? And I was like, yeah. He said, explain to me why we don't have a single leaked zero-G porn. And I stopped and thought about it and went, all the equipment's there. There's no reason why it shouldn't exist. And I guarantee you, if you stick two people in a can for longer than about 45 minutes, somebody's getting juicy. I mean, shouldn't there be at least one leaked supposed scandal somewhere? I don't know. Rule 34 has been broken by the space station as far as I can tell. And that is not a mark in its favor.
As to advertise her own undergarments online, which read, "Is there anyone out there interested in buying my worn panties?" Sharon had no qualms about advertising and selling products that would appeal to the lurid sexual fantasies and fetishes of her customers. She also had her own sexual fantasies that she actively sought to fulfill. Sharon used the internet for a variety of purposes, such as to obtain business ideas and make money. However, she also used the internet to interact with a larger variety of people who shared her unconventional interests. She often ventured into hardcore pornographic chat rooms where subscribers would openly discuss their interests in necrophilia, bondage, fetishes, and sadomasochism. She used numerous pseudonyms and multiple personae in her internet messages. Using these masks allowed her anonymity and the freedom to pursue her unusual fantasies.
All right. I would like to lodge with the house that my safe word is harder.
According to the Washington Post on November 3, 1996, one message Sharon posted stated that she had a fascination with torturing till death. Some of the identities she assumed during the chat room sessions included a 300-pound strict dominatrix and disciplinarian, a screen actress named Nancy Carlson who would offer to star in customized sex videos for a price, and a shapely 5'6" beauty.
So she was a good, wholesome, natural American young lady, as we find in our modern society. Okay.
The News and Observer found more than 50 such messages of Sharon's over several months. Many were found on internet sites such as fetishfeet.com and sexbondage.com.
Hello, Blue
The overriding
Unicorns.
theme
Welcome
of Sharon's messages was that she wanted to be tortured and killed. Often, she would post messages on the internet looking for a man to satisfy her wish. A sex rights activist named Tanith, who often visited the sites, told the Washington Post that she became concerned with Sharon's bizarre messages. On November 3, 1996, the Post quoted Tanith saying that Sharon was going to chat rooms and asking to be tortured.
That picture don't look right, by the way.
Tanith had tried to stop her.
I mean, no, dudes will hit anything. You throw a corset and some freaking stiletto heels on that thing, and they'll be all over it.
Huh?
I'm telling you, like,
It looks like that's a penis right there.
I don't like this particular. I think it's the pillow behind her or something, but yeah. Anyway.
Sorry.
But Sharon refused. Sharon replied to the woman, "I want the real thing. I did
Hello,
not
baby.
want you preaching to me." The Baltimore Sun learned that there were numerous responses to Sharon's messages offering to fulfill her fantasy. Most eventually withdrew when they discovered that Sharon's requests were serious.
He pulled out way early.
But there was one man who gave Sharon exactly what she desired. Robert Bobby Frederick Glass was a 45-year-old computer analyst who worked for the Catawba County, North Carolina government. According to the Washington Post, Bobby was a productive worker who was responsible for programming tax rolls and keeping track of the gas consumption of county vehicles. He worked for Catawba County for almost 16 years. Bobby was also a computer enthusiast, according to Sherry, his wife of 14 years. But in an interview with the Washington Post, she lamented that he had more passion for his hard drive than his marriage. Sherry Glass stated in an interview that her husband had lost his attraction for her. Sherry said the final straw was when her children asked why their father didn't.
Continue.
What?
You had something
I
to
just
say.
said no way.
No.
I mean, look at her.
Because she's a little chubby. Come on, I'm telling you, man. You stick that in a
I
leather.
understand big women need loving too. It's not that.
They need more loving.
Okay. I mean, I guess if you put a paper bag over her head, whatever.
In the dark, everyone looks the same.
No, I got good eyes, so I still see it.
Too many carrots. It's okay to get with your eyes.
Didn't love her any longer. In May 1996, Bobby and Sherry separated. Shortly thereafter, Sherry moved from the family home with their 3 children, daughters aged 10 and 7, and a son, 6. It may have been more than a lack of...
Right now, Blue Unicorn gets it. He's like, I'm thinking of Little Nicky's roommate. I'll do it. I've always wanted to kill someone. He's like already got the knife out. He's like, I'll do it. Did you see the Orb Puff challenge?
Yes.
How you like that one?
Yeah.
Pretty good idea. Simple to the point. I think 60 seconds is too long to stare at a camera, but I'm down. As long as I got my bread, I'm down. It's good. We'll do it.
Of love that caused the breakup of the Glass family. According to Sherry Glass, there were other marital problems that few had known about. Daily, Bobby had spent countless hours typing on his computer, and Sherry eventually became suspicious. One day she logged on and found worrisome emails saved on the hard disk. The messages, she told the Washington Post, which had been posted under the pseudonyms Toyman and Slowhand, alarmed her because of their raw, violent, and disturbing nature. After dinner one evening, she confronted her husband. Sherry later said that all of the color had drained out of his face. She realized that there was this side to him that was unknown to her. Despite this alarming discovery, Sherry recalled him as generally pleasant, hardworking, and amiable. In August 1996, Bobby and Sharon became acquainted while visiting various sexually oriented internet chat rooms. Bobby displayed a fetish for inflicting pain, whereas Sharon exhibited a desire to be tortured. In an email message to Bobby, Sharon asked him to fulfill her fantasy. She wrote to Bobby that she wanted to be bound and strangled as she approached an orgasm. Bobby responded to her message by describing in depth how he would fulfill her.
So the best way to deal with a body, at least according to those who know, allegedly, first, find a pig farmer.
Her wish. Email correspondence.
And then go and watch Snatch.
Correspondence between the two lasted for several months. An investigator of the Lopaka case, Captain Danny Barlow of North Carolina's Caldwell County Sheriff's Department, said, "If you put all their messages together, you'd have a very large novel." Police were able to recover almost 900 pages of emails from Sharon and Bobby's computers. On the morning of October 13th, 1996, Sharon drove her blue Honda Civic to the train depot in Baltimore, Maryland, telling Victor that she was going to visit friends in Georgia. Instead, she boarded the 9:15 a.m. train to Charlotte, North Carolina. At about 8:45 p.m. that evening, she arrived in Charlotte, where Bobby was waiting. Together, they drove 80 miles from the station in his pickup truck to his trailer home in Lenoir, North Carolina. The events that followed later became a source of speculation among investigators. The Daily Telegraph reported that in the note that Sharon left for Victor, she said that she would not be returning and told him not to go after her killer. She also wrote, "If my body is never retrieved, don't worry. Know that I'm at peace." On October 30th, 1996, South Coast Today reported that after the police department's newly developed computer...
Got a red flag here. Anybody else see the red flag there? I'll let y'all think on that for a minute.
Crime unit found substantial evidence in Sharon's computer linking her to Bobby Glass. Police in North Carolina monitored Bobby's trailer for several days. It was hoped that Sharon would be found alive at his residence, but she was not seen during the stakeout. On October 25th, Judge...
That all depends on where you live, bud. If you live far enough north where it actually freezes up on lakes, you can ride out onto a lake with a chipper shredder, just spray it out on the ground right before snow. And as soon as it melts in the spring, it just becomes fish food.
How do you know this stuff?
You've never seen Fargo? Dude, I've watched every horrible movie ever. I've seen all the cheesy...
Oh, yes.
Some of those cheesy ass movies have the greatest plots in them.
Yeah.
I mean, the cinematography is trash. The sound is absolutely horrible. The actors are terrible. The director phoned it in, but the plot is ironclad. It'll work. This ain't no Ocean's 11 we're talking about, after all. Do you see the red flag?
Is, familiar to me.
Do you see the red flag here?
In the video?
Yeah, on screen right now.
No. I mean,
okay. So there's this picture of this place, and there is no driveway to it.
Oh, I thought it was private.
There's nowhere for a car to pull up, and a car hasn't pulled up there in a while. You see that?
I see it now.
Okay.
Judge Beal issued police a search warrant for Bobby's trailer. Investigators arrived at Bobby's home while he was at work. The property surrounding the trailer was littered with rotten garbage and abandoned toys. The interior was equally dirty and cluttered. Still, they found items belonging to Sharon, as well as drug and bondage paraphernalia, pornography, a pistol, and thousands of computer disks.
Nah, bro.
75 feet from the trailer.
Remember, it's the middle of winter, and you're far enough north that things freeze, so you just freeze it first. You use a sawzall to chop it into like 6 or 10 pieces, dump it off into your shredder, spew it out onto the surface of the lake right before a snowstorm. Then you drag the shredder back, you spray it down with bleach until it runs clean, and you use the living shit out of it too. Then when they come in and test it, yeah, there's blood in it, but can't tell whose blood. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we fully break this bitch down. We do an actual cleaning to it. Or better yet, we reforge them into goddamn spurs.
Or just get rid of it.
Yeah, but where do you get rid of it? Wherever you send it, it's got freaking blood on it. So you take it down, you get you a forge, and you forge that shit into fucking trinkets for you to sell on your YouTube channel. In your merch store. And then later when you get busted, probably because of one of them trinkets.
It's a symbol.
An officer discovered a fresh mound of
allegedly
soil. After digging only 2.5 feet beneath the mound, they found Sharon's decomposing remains. Caldwell County investigator D.A. Brown told the Washington Post that if the body had been buried in the woodlands behind the trailer, we would have never found her. That same day, police arrested Bobby at his workplace. According to Capitol News Service, the Lopaka case was the first time a police unit captured a murder suspect based primarily on evidence obtained from email messages. While in custody, Bobby was interviewed about the events surrounding the alleged murder of Sharon. He told investigators that for several days he and Sharon had acted out their violent sexual fantasies in his trailer. He confessed that Sharon had willingly allowed him to
What?
I too am completely flummoxed to the reference. I don't get
What's
it.
a chip?
A Chilean helicopter ride.
Chilean helicopter ride.
Got me, man. Dying. I'm on bated breath waiting to find out too. Type faster. Because we're not moving forward till I find out what that is. I'll Google if I have to. Don't make me do that. I'm already on a list.
Oh, I'm Googling.
Please? We're dying over here. The whole chat's just stuck. Nothing happens until you define what a Chilean helicopter ride is. Or is this going to reference them? Yeah, no, an active volcano would serve the purpose, especially if you happen to have a helicopter around. That's handy.
Tie her up with rope and probe her with objects around the house.
Let's start with a good time.
Bobby also admitted that Sharon allowed him to tie a rope around her neck and tighten it as she climaxed during intercourse. But Bobby claimed to have accidentally strangled Sharon to death while in the throes of violent sexual play, according to
Man, I'm sorry. One who loves BDSM, you know what I'm saying? There's a point where they start turning colors. I mean, you know, like obviously it's no.
But you see, but no, even beyond that point, I hate to be one of those creepy fucks to bring you to reality there, honey. But there's a point beyond that where you're still capable of being resuscitated, which means he probably finished in a corpse, which officially makes him a necrophiliac.
Yeah.
I hate being that guy to bring this point up. I also ruined all of your childhood favorites as far as cartoons and movies, because just as soon as we start, it's like you realize what this actually is, right? Rachel's like, "Stop it! Watch, no, shut up, shut up." Or when we're watching something like what was the movie? Hold on, The Silence. Is that the one where all the monsters are running around chasing folks and you had to be real quiet?
I have no idea.
All right. So about a quarter of the way through that movie, I had an epiphany. And I'm not sure what triggered it. I suddenly realized that there were no monsters. The monster was the drunk husband. He had them pinned out there on that farm, wouldn't let them contact anybody off the farm. He had actually laid out trails for people to walk on so that he would know where everyone had gone and when. And the monsters only ever showed up when he wandered out of the frame.
There's something wrong with you. I haven't said it over the year I've known you, but now I'm saying it. There's something really wrong with you, buddy.
I'm telling you, every movie you've ever watched, right in the middle of it, I look at you to hit you with some shit that's just absurd, and it checks out. Because go back, watch the first two movies. It follows through into the second movie. What's the name of that movie? Damn.
To his lawyer, Neil Beach. Bobby was later quoted as saying, "I don't know how much I pulled the rope. I never wanted to kill her, but she ended up dead." The body of Sharon Lopaka was sent to Dr. John Butts, North Carolina's chief medical examiner. The autopsy report stated the cause of death was strangulation. Other tests showed some inconclusive evidence of sexual torture or mutilation. Butts believed that Sharon died 3 days after she arrived in North.
I got to be honest, man. I have gone out on a sexual limb a couple of times, but I don't think I've ever reached a stage of mutilation.
Yeah, yeah.
Mutilation is pushing it, man. I mean, I'm assuming that has a definition, like a legal one, and it involves damaging something. Am I wrong?
Yes. No, you're not wrong. Sorry.
Carolina. In an interview with the Associated Press on November 1st, 1996, Neil Beach said that the autopsy report supported his client's claim that the death was accidental. "It is hard for me to believe the woman was tortured for 3 days if the medical examiner of North Carolina couldn't find any indication of that. It's much easier to understand or picture an accident occurring during
Such deep
sexual
thoughts.
Mutilation is
Shadow mind.
evidence of that. I mean,
No, hold on. We have a star in the chat. Well.
wow.
Such deep thoughts for such a shallow mind. Dun dun dun. What's up, bud? An abstract look is in chat. He did this right here. You can go see it being painted on his channel. One of his very first uploads. I don't know if it actually was the first.
Whips and chains and handcuffs. Smack a little booty up with my belt. Sorry.
Indeed. Continue.
No, good.
Oh, you're good now. Now you're good. Okay.
Oh.
Apparently, you have excited my co-host.
Conjure up an image of this man as a cold-blooded, premeditated killer, Beach said. Search warrant affidavits released by police stated that Sharon intended to meet Bobby specifically to be tortured and killed. Captain Danny Barlow considered a death under such circumstances to be deliberate, not accidental. According to police, the emails written under the pseudonym Slowhand, detailing how he was going to kill Sharon, provided further evidence that the death was premeditated. Bobby was charged with first-degree murder and held without bond in the Caldwell County Jail. On October 26th, Superior Court Judge Beverly T. Beal issued a gag order to those directly involved in the case. Regardless of the court order, the media obtained enough information to sensationalize the Lopaka case. Most of the news stories focused on the dangers of internet-mediated meetings. Sharon's death spawned debates and discussion groups worldwide. Many called for censorship of the internet.
Hey, Smoking Auditor, I want you in on this orb puff challenge that she put out. All you got to do, and this is a ridiculous thing, but I think it's great. Stare in the camera with your best Jack Nicholson Kubrick stare. Your most mad stare, right? The most creepy, unsettling stare. Just really turn on the voltage. Right? That's it. That's all she wants. Do it however you like. 60 seconds.
Do
To
it.
prevent such deaths
Do it.
and to protect children.
Do it.
Conversely, anti-censorship activists argued that the internet was a useful tool, allowing people to express themselves more freely and to voice their ideas, thoughts, and views in an open forum.
Claiborne,
Often,
I don't know how to take that comment.
the Mardi Gras phenomenon is a term used by psychologists to describe the ability to mask oneself and assume
That's
a
why I
variety
just
of
skipped it.
personalities, allowing one to speak and act freely with little or no consequence. This phenomenon is particularly prevalent on the internet, where users can—
Dude, you've seen you've seen The Shining, right?
Yes.
You know the bit where he stares into the camera for like 76 seconds without blinking?
Yes.
Right. That's the bit she's going for. I'm actually hoping to get me a green screen turtleneck
Quiet, please.
and then win. Dun, dun, dun.
can express themselves freely and anonymously in online chat rooms and news groups. Sharon's death and the publicity surrounding the case led to an increased interest in understanding deviant sexual behaviors, especially sadism, masochism, and the use of asphyxia during sexual intercourse. Psychologist Richard von Krafft-Ebing first coined the term sadist and masochist to describe behavior in which sexual arousal was achieved through the infliction or reception of pain. According to Reber's Dictionary of Psychology, sadism is the association of sexual—
She said just hit it with an @orb puff either in the title or in the description, and it should pop up in her mentions. Spelled just like that. Just throw an @ in front of that.
pleasure with the inflicting of physical and psychic pain upon another, including humiliation, exploitation, and debasement. Masochism refers to any tendency to direct that which is destructive, painful, or humiliating against oneself. Psychologists—
Dude, I love you, Abstract Look. Those are awesome.
Is anyone else becoming aroused?
No, it's not arousal for me anymore, but
I got you. You're a crotch goblin, ain't it?
Sigmund Freud was the first to combine the two terms into sadomasochism in an attempt to emphasize the reciprocity of the use of pain during sexual intercourse. A controversial form of deviant sexual play practiced by some sadomasochists involves the use of strangulation. Sexual strangulation is referred to by the psychological community as a form of asphyxiophilia. Asphyxiophilia refers to the general practice of controlling or restricting oxygen to the brain by interfering with the breath directly or through pressure on the carotid arteries in order to achieve sexual gratification. Often, the hands or a tourniquet of some sort are tied around the throat during sexual intercourse.
Disavow.
To achieve a feeling of euphoria and elation, which accompanies a lack of oxygen to the brain. Supposedly, this can increase the intensity of an orgasm. According to the Deviance Dictionary, sexual...
Allegedly. Don't try this at home, kids.
Yes, no, don't.
We are trained professionals.
Strangulation practiced with a partner is a form of edge play, in which one's life is literally in the hands of another. Supposedly, the thrill lay in the danger and vulnerability associated with the activity. However, there have been cases in which such edge play had resulted in an unintentional death. According to the American Psychiatric Association, about 250 deaths occur every year in the United States involving strangulation or chokehold.
Stop it. Who's this guy running around choking motherfuckers out all the time? Is there this one dude you got to watch out for? 250 a week? What was it, a year? 250 a year through autoerotic asphyxiation. Is that a word?
I don't know.
English, motherfucker. Do you speak it? Sorta. I speak all languages badly.
Colds during sexual activity. A large majority of these deaths have occurred during autoerotic asphyxiation, in which one restricts one's own oxygen during masturbation or solo play. Jay Wiseman of the Society for Human Sexuality says that only a few of those cases resulting in a death due to strangulation or chokeholds involved sexual play with a partner.
Stop.
There are many.
Okay. I'm all into a little tightness around my throat and stuff, but the moment I can't breathe, there is no enjoying what is being done. I'm just saying.
Am I supposed to care?
Look.
As long as you don't die, is there any concern to me?
No.
No. Let's clear this up right now. My question is, are you pressing charges?
Yes. If you choke me and you're not good in bed, I'm calling the motherfucking cops.
I knew that was coming.
Many theories to explain why some participate in deviant sexual behavior, such as sexual strangulation. One theory suggests that deprivation of normal social sexual contact or childhood trauma causes such behaviors. There are also theories based on physiological causes of deviant sexual behavior that focus on the relationship between sexual hormones and the central nervous system. Currently, there is no evidence that suggests that either Sharon or Bobby suffered from early childhood trauma, abnormal sexual experiences, or hormonal dysfunction. What makes their case exceptional is that Sharon ventured into the relationship with one apparent intention to die. Thus, Sharon was a suicidal masochist. However, she was...
You see, this is why I love my community. Well, I truly love my community. I'm definitely bringing that up in the next show.
Yes.
We're definitely going to check that out. In fact, damn it, I can't fucking do that. Hold on.
I know about the Candyman.
The Candyman. Oh, that is a terrifying story, dude. The chick that lived in the apartment that the guys kept coming in and raping her, and she kept calling the cops, and the cops kept showing up and saying you're crazy and leaving, and then the guys would crawl back in and rape her again. Oh my god, dude! But you call the cops like 9 times in 3 weeks because I'm telling you, these guys, they keep crawling out of my mirror. He's calling things to me, and the cops are like, "Yeah, sure, lady." Dude, oh, she'd have lived. She could have. Ooh, can you imagine that?
No.
Isn't that Cabrini Green? Isn't that the name of the place?
I have the Candyman song stuck in my head right now, so sorry.
It's Candyman Can.
Yes, yes.
The Candyman Can.
Is not the first in history to seek out a willing participant who would fulfill a request to be strangled to death for sexual gratification. Knud Jurgensen wrote in 1995
I'm definitely
about the
going to go get that one.
1791 case of
Email
composer
me that
Franz
link, baby.
Kotzwara,
I
who
need it.
enlisted the help of a London
find it.
prostitute, Susanna Hill, to assist him with his bizarre wish. After paying Hill 2 shillings, Kotzwara asked her to cut off his genitalia, a request the prostitute refused. Yet Hill did agree to fulfill Kotzwara's sexual wish of strangling himself with a rope. It was the first documented case of death by sexual strangulation. Hill was eventually arrested for Kotzwara's murder, but later acquitted when authorities learned that she was more or less an innocent bystander, unlike Bobby Glass, who more than 200 years later faced first-degree murder charges for the sexual strangulation death of Sharon Lopaka. The charge was eventually reduced to voluntary manslaughter. The case against Bobby Glass stretched on for 3 years.
I can do this one. I can do this one. Some will die a horrible death in fiery auto crashes. Some will die a nasty death while sifting through my ashes. Some will fall in love with life and drinking from a fountain that is pouring like an avalanche coming down the mountain.
Oh, I clipped that shit.
I can do that. I think I could do that whole song. I want to get rid of that. How do I get rid of that? Skadoosh.
Several lengthy delays. On January 27, 2000, he pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter, as well as 6 counts.
No, he's right. He's right. That's Butthole Surfers. The name of the song is Pepper. Pouring like a avalanche coming down the mountain. Because I don't mind the sun sometimes, the images it shows. Because I can taste you on your lips and smell you in your clothes. Cinnamon and sugary with softly spoken lies. You never know just how you look through other people's eyes.
Counts of second-degree sexual exploitation. The latter charges resulted from graphic material found on Bobby's computer. Bobby was sentenced to 36 to 53 months in prison for the manslaughter of Sharon Lopaka and 21 to 26 months for the possession of a special kind of pornography. You know what I'm talking about. I'm just not allowed to say it here. He was sent to Avery Mitchell Correctional Institution.
We're not listening. Lolly.
On February 20th, 2002, 2 weeks before his release, Bobby Glass had a heart attack. He was pronounced dead at 1:30 a.m. at Spruce Pine Community Hospital.
There you go.
In North Carolina.
Lady Sniff. You're evil, dude. All right. So we're only going to watch a few minutes of this one, and we're going to skip to the dead internet theory. Beginning of this past week, and a lot of the schools around recently just started. And a couple of days ago, on the first day of school, this elementary school teacher was found completely schnozzled middle of the day. She was wanting to drive herself home from this interaction. Now, she did get locked up. However, I want to point out, and this is what we're going into with this, is how much effort the cops went through to get her out of the building without any, other than what had already taken place type record happening. He did not want to arrest her and take her to jail and have her processed for public drunk, which is what she would do to any parent who showed up at the school sloshed like that. Am I wrong? Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. The muffin. I remember that video. That's a good one. Yeah, that's real good. And I just lost my co-host. She just ran away. She hates me. She left me a hateful note over here before she left. I appreciate it, bud. And much love, AJot. Go do the things you do. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over the first 3 or 4 minutes of this video. I'm not sure when exactly the whole she just refuses to acknowledge any form of wrongdoing whatsoever. Although she eventually admits to having liquor in the classroom when they find the bottle of liquor in the classroom. And then She never admits to having drank on the job that day, even though the people there noticed her becoming more drunk throughout the day and then called the cops, right? Before she could drive home. Because she's responsible. This is the type of people that are responsible for your children. And it ain't just alcohol. Alcohol is the devil's drink, but at the same time, there's worse stuff out there.
Kimberly, come on in here and have a seat a second. I want to visit with you.
All right.
So, just observing you in classroom, it looks like
homie,
something's off a little bit.
I did a naughty thing with your email. I connected all of them that you've emailed me from all back to the same email address, so that when you email me from any of them, it all comes back under that original email address you gave me. So all I can see is the original name that you that you gave me. I'd have to go look at it to see it. But all right. First of all, if a drunk parent was on the scene, would they have a little meeting backstage to see what we're going to do about the situation, or would they just lock his ass up, take him in? Let me know in the chat. Okay, cool. And when I dig that out, I'll share it in the share a link with everybody. I'll try to have it on hand next time. The website. Go to his website. Go to his website. Don't do that. YouTube doesn't like it when people do that. Dun dun dun.
So I've asked Officer Dean to come in here and visit with it. Have you taken anything that's, do you have a prescription for anything that maybe you have taken today that just seems like you're not the same person that I talked to this morning?
I did take some medication last night to help me with sleep because I have some anxiety stuff, but that's I can't think of the name of it right now, but I could look it up when I get home.
Okay. So you haven't taken anything while you were at school?
No.
Okay. Now, one thing I would tell you is, for your employment, I want you to be truthful.
Okay.
And so, would you be willing to take a breathalyzer test?
If I needed to, yeah.
Okay. You don't have to, but if you're willing to do it, that helps us.
This is right around that time where you're asked to talk to your lawyer because you're getting arrested, right? Do you see any way that you could possibly... Why is this not working? I'll try that again. That you would be walking out of this room not in handcuffs. You just drove to a school drunk, spent 8 hours at the school drunk, became drunker, and they're fixing to spend the next hour trying to get this woman out of here without her being arrested. Okay, I get discretion, but I'm willing to bet you dollars to donuts she's somebody's friend, somebody's buddy, so his wife's girlfriend's little sister's aunt or something. I don't know. You know how this stuff works. What's up, country boy archaeology? Good to see you, bud. Welcome in.
Have you taken any sort of medication today?
I'm sorry, what?
Have you taken any medication today?
I did take some medication this morning for my anxiety.
What did you take this morning?
I think it's called
Clonazepam. She's over here popping Klonopin and drinking shooters in the middle of lunch. Like, this is like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They're trying to get out of here get her out of here before the buses start running and parents start showing up.
I'm not very good with it.
Did you take it here at school?
I took it this morning.
While you were here?
Yeah, right before I came in. Yes.
Okay.
Is that a prescription? Because you changed your story a little bit. Now
Yeah,
you
you
said
said it was
you took-
last night.
Yeah.
Well, I took one last night and then I took one this morning because my anxiety was really like bad.
Well, that's understandable. But I just need you. So what time did you take it?
This morning?
Whenever you took it last. What time was that?
I'm not really for sure.
Where's it at? In your car? In your classroom?
No, I had one. I took it I put it in my pocket and then I took it.
You put it in your pocket?
Yeah.
Tom, tell you the truth, bud. You might do better starting a new. I know this sounds horrendous. Don't get me wrong. Starting a new YouTube channel, operating two of them for a short period while you remove videos from one, upload them to the other, because I know you got hours of content over there. Now, you can leave those up on your original channel. They won't go anywhere for a while. But if you just want a channel for branding purposes, just do the branding thing and make a new channel. It would make the names and the handles and stuff that YouTube uses now, the way links work, it would just work so much smoother if you had basically the domain name. That's what it comes down to. Just go get Just Tom's Art on everything. Do it all in one evening. Sit down with a pint of freaking rum and just get them all. That's what I did with Caucasian Sasquatch. Had 3 buddies of mine sitting over here all shooting shots, going to different websites and signing up for Caucasian Sasquatch name because I'm a moron.
Yeah. Because I didn't want to bring the whole bottle in.
You do know that if it's a narcotic, you have to have it in the bottle, right? Or you can be charged with it.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's got to be in the prescription.
She has just confessed to a felony trafficking charge. Right? They're still going to try to get her out of here without going to jail.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I want you to understand that I care very much about you. Okay. And I need to make sure you're okay. I need to make sure that you're safe. And I've got to make sure that the kids are
I bet
safe.
you ain't shared this live stream on your Instagram page, have you? Because you don't love me no more.
Okay. Okay.
I can still whisper sweet nothings into your ear. I don't mind.
Your demeanor, like I told you earlier, is just a lot.
Fuck me. What the hell? Was there an earphone warning that I missed?
It's just a lot different. So if there is anything that you need to cover, please call me so that we can help.
I do well in the art community, bro.
I mean, I am
I'm a bit odd myself.
With some depression stuff, and
Did you drink something while you were here at school?
not while I was at school.
All right. And she sticks to that story. I took a Klonopin this morning, but I haven't drank since I come in. Now, she doesn't specify exactly when she drank last for the longest time. She does the horizontal gaze. All right. First of all, let's go to this. This is where the results of the breathalyzer take place. Where's it at?
Ability to take care of the kids.
Right.
And it's not going to be my decision.
It's my decision. So let's see what happens.
All right.
All right. So you're gonna blow into it like you're blowing up a balloon, okay? And you're gonna keep blowing until I tell you to stop.
Yes, you are.
Tell you to stay.
That's what he said.
Okay?
All right.
All right. Give it a second.
I don't know how to do this.
You're just gonna blow into it like you're blowing up a balloon.
Oh, you're lying to me.
Ready? Take a big deep breath. Blow, 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 blow. All right. Up. Go. You gonna tell me the truth? How much you had to drink?
I drank last night.
There's no way you drank last night.
Well, I did drink last night.
Did you drink at school? Is what he's asking you. Tell us the truth.
I didn't drink at school.
That wouldn't blow that right there.
You blew 2 times the legal limit.
He's being conservative. Like, apparently she's recently slugged some shots because later they test her again and it comes up a little higher than that. That's wild. Why would she? No, like right. No, I would already be talking to my lawyer. Second I saw that fucking cop, we're talking to my lawyer. In fact, he should have been called before that cop showed up.
I did.
I'd like to speak to my lawyer.
Here's our drink that you have. What's in this drink?
That's a Diet Coke.
Is there anything liquor in it?
Nope.
So if I go into the classroom, am I going to find anything else?
Did you go to your vehicle and drink if we go out and search your car?
Hold up. They gave you the breathalyzer even though you weren't driving the motorcycle. You got breathalyzed on the side of the road after an accident as a passenger. Is that accurate? Wild.
So where did the liquor come from? Did you leave campus?
Not today.
Have you? This thing is pretty accurate.
No, I know it is.
So
I know it is.
you blew like a 0.24.
I don't know what that means. What's
Legal limit's 0.08.
okay?
Do you drink often?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to insult you. I'm just trying to understand why.
No.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, in the recovery community, this is what we call a functional alcoholic, a high functioning alcoholic who is in full blown denial and has yet or is about to meet her rock bottom. I just about guarantee you in 8 months she'll be stone cold sober. She's never had to pay for her condition. People have always given her the easy way out, and they're trying to give her the easy way out on this one.
I'm seeing a counselor. I'm seeing a counselor about it. So
You haven't had anything to drink today.
not since, well, so 3 a.m.
Your expert opinion, she's under the influence.
Well, I mean, you want my honest opinion? I think she's probably a functioning alcoholic.
Would she blow that
She could and be normal and like be
and not drink today?
Well, no, because she's had to have drank sometime today.
Like even if it was 3 a.m.
Do you want to blow one more time on a different
I don't
straw
want
to see if it changes?
No.
All right.
I want y'all.
So here's the thing. There is no doubt that this woman is absolutely hammered. Now the question is, why? There are medical conditions that do this. Now, it goes further than just being hammered. She's not just under the influence. She is physically drunk. She just blew damn near dead. She also has admitted to not only taking a Klonopin last night before bed, but another one this morning when she got up because she had a little anxiety, which is also apparently why she's drinking. So this is not a good house of cards. And as far as opiates and coke, I'm not saying it would be proper, but it wouldn't be the problem that alcohol and opiates are. I don't guess. I don't know. I wouldn't like that either. I'm not saying it's a good thing. Disavow. Smoking them hops. I bet she do smoke a little tweed. I bet she do. It's fucking. Okay, what is it this time? Oh, it hasn't changed. Cool. Princess OPD news song Little Girl versus Jazz Game Utah. And I'm not putting that up on on the screen, bro.
You ought to tell me what I have to do.
I just want you to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a counselor for my stuff. So,
which explains why you have Klonopin.
I live in Stillwater.
Do you have anybody that's there that could come pick you up?
So from this point, right, we go all the way we'll watch 10 minutes right there. Okay, so this is almost 20 minutes later, right? Almost 20 minutes later, and they're still having the conversation of who's going to come pick her up because she refuses to call her husband and doesn't have any friends that are willing to do it, apparently. Rock, meat, bottom.
She's working on it because she wiped the cup out. So.
And this is after they have found the alcohol in the cup on the desk and the alcohol in her little I think it was in a filing cabinet next to her desk, and then another bottle in a book depository at the back of the room that only she had the key to.
Yeah, I'll take her out that way, like out back, like by the playground.
And they're gonna sneak her out in cuffs.
Please.
All right. All right. Where's your driver's license at?
I don't know.
Well, here's the deal. You're under arrest. So,
No,
hey, we're not going to sit here and whine. That's over. Am I going to find anything illegal in here?
A bunch of loose Klonopin, probably a couple of Percocets, a couple of methadone. You know,
No, officer. I'm sorry. Officer Dean.
that blunt she was smoking at recess.
Please.
Her husband is also a teacher, apparently, and works at a different school.
Is that your legal first name? Is your driver's license through Oklahoma?
Yes. Please
Hello,
don't arrest me.
sunshine.
Please let me just call a friend to come and get me. I'll call a friend. I'll do whatever I have to, but please don't arrest me. Please.
Hello.
Please don't do this. Please don't.
Hello.
What's up, Spot?
Hello.
Good to see you, bud.
Hello.
Sunshine. Hello,
Okay, I'll be back in
sunshine.
just a second.
Welcome to the show.
All right, here's the deal.
No.
Stand up. You are under arrest. I'm going to place handcuffs on the front of you, in front of you.
No.
Spencer, you're going to come. You might have to come in here. Maybe.
No.
No, I'm in Miss Bowles' office. Can you let them in? Mr. Ogle's going to come let you in.
And he is still trying to get this woman out with no witnesses. She's under arrest.
Stand up.
But she doesn't want to put cuffs on.
Can you just?
No, I said I'm done.
No, just no. Can I just walk out without the handcuffs on? No, please just let me walk out.
No, it's policy.
I'm not gonna.
I'm gonna cuff you up front if you're gonna keep.
What you want to bet in 6 months, right? A year, she'll be sober and an auditor on these YouTube streets. It's back to blue till it happens to you, right? Is that how that works? What's up, John DeNicola? Welcome in, bud. Good to see you.
Running your mouth.
Andrew Langlois.
Wait, can I just talk to you for a second? Please. Please don't.
Put your hands behind your back.
No, I don't want to.
You want to go to jail?
No.
All right. So already we have reached the point of resisting arrest, right? Definitely. If this was any other person on earth, anybody other than a teacher that apparently he's somewhat familiar with, because he's still trying to sneak her out without nobody noticing that she's getting arrested. Any one of us would have been tackled 45 minutes ago. They would have shot our dog in the parking lot because we resisted when we went, what's this all about? That was our resisting, and we got tackled, beat down with billy clubs, drug off through the concrete, and made to lay down on hot freaking pavement. But they got her in an office having a discussion about it. Absolute absurdity.
What charges?
No.
Put your hands behind your back.
Please
You
don't
can hit your button.
this. Please, I just want to talk to you. Can you just talk to me?
Put your hands behind your back.
You're muted.
I was hoping to skip the handcuffs being on screen.
Yeah, YouTube doesn't like that.
They don't. They're so annoying about little things like that. Right. Child endangerment. Right. John DeNicolas gets it. Resisting without violence, child endangerment, public intoxication. She drove to work this morning, so there might be a DUI floating around in there. Right. She trafficked at least some drugs. She said she brought a Klonopin with her in her pocket. Right. So that was at the very least trafficking. Was it a Schedule 1 narcotic? There's got to be a few others in there. She almost certainly tampered with evidence. Pretty sure she threw away what was in her Diet Coke cup. Is there alcohol in this cup?
Can we just go in there for just a second, please? I'm sorry.
Stop pulling away from me.
I don't mean to pull away. I'm just. I'm really not a bad
I'm not saying you are.
Please. Can't we just.
No, talking's over.
Please.
You've done nothing but lie and not listen.
No. Can't you just give me another.
No. Another chance is over.
Please, 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 please.
Let's go. Grab that cup.
Want to go out the front?
No. Please don't. Please don't have me go out the
You
front.
can go right this way and then go around back to the cafeteria. Is that where you are?
Yeah.
I do need her keys to the building, if we know where those are.
There's some keys in here. I'll come back and get that cup. I got to write her tickets too.
And they're still walking her through the back hall.
Yeah, there's some keys. You want to go to the? Where are you at?
I'm right off the cafeteria.
I don't want.
Hey, it's over. You had your chance. You've done
I
nothing.
want to know who told the media about her with them all trying to hide this.
If it happened in Florida, it was probably uploaded to the AP almost immediately. I don't know where it happened. Might say something over here about it. Oklahoma. Right. Okay, so y'all get the idea there. They picked her ass up, they took her in. Are you familiar with the dead internet theory?
Is that where the internet's actually secretly alive or something like that?
Actually, it's just the opposite. There is a what's called the Potemkin Google theory. In the Potemkin Google theory, most 90% of the links that you use in Google actually go to dead sites that haven't been updated since the mid 80s, mid 90s, 2010s, right? And if you actually go to Google, it tells you that you've got 2,700,000,000 and some odd. And I learned this when I was doing my jokes. I went to Google to try to find jokes, and what I found was about 2,000 jokes, most of them the same 1,000 jokes retold in a different light. Roughly 1,000 jokes. If you go look at my channel, I've got about 600 of them or something. So after that, it starts getting repetitive because it's a goat instead of a pig. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. Not counting Chuck Norris jokes, because they're sort of their own unique niche. They don't follow normal joke rules. But the dead internet.
Mean, most of the time when I Google something, I get about 100 ads before I find what I'm actually looking for.
Right. Absolutely right. But I got to ask you a question. Do you know the Muffin Man?
I know the rhyme, and I know that apparently in the 1600s there was a guy called the Muffin Man killing people.
Muffin Man? Who lives on Drury Lane?
All I can think of now is the movie Shrek.
You have a victim of social programming.
But it's also undead. The internet is dead. Nobody killed it, which is good, but it's also undead, which is bad. An interesting theory has circulated around 4chan's X board and other image boards recently. It's a fascinating, if extreme, idea. The dead internet theory. A belief that the internet has entered a state of automated cultural technological stagnation, or to quote the theory's thesis, large proportions of the supposedly human-produced content on the internet are actually generated by artificial intelligence networks in conjunction with paid secret media influencers.
Plants. I've been accused of being a plant on several occasions because I've had a couple of guests come on, do the show, and within 4 or 5 hours, actually, Flow State got hit right before he came on the show. When he advertised he was coming on the show, bam, he got hit with a strike. Like, as in that post shared when he went live, it wouldn't go live because of some YouTube chicanery. That's why I was live on everyone else's channel and not his. But his chat was live, and those guys showed up, stared at a blank screen. That's freaking dedication, bro. They didn't hear a bit of it. Sat right there, chatted it right out in chat. True homies.
In order to manufacture consumers for an increasing range of newly normalized cultural products. A little theoretical, but the idea makes sense. Now, this is an image board theory by Anons, so bizarre and extreme points show up in it, often bordering on schizophrenia. But there is a body of research over 2 decades that substantiates the theory, to a degree. The internet has been hollowed out by algorithms, social media, and bots. Maybe calling it dead is an exaggeration, but the title is hyperbole. Compared to 10 years ago, the internet feels empty. Hollow like a balloon filled with air. The surface appears massive, but there's nothing in there. A sea that is a mile wide but an inch deep. It's not a process of enclosure and sanitation, though it goes hand in hand with that, but something different. The elements of human creativity are being quietly pulled out and replaced with pure artificiality. The modern internet, in certain terms, is dead. As in what was once human has withered away. The normal user is shoved ever deeper into a Skinner box of shadows. In his 2001 white paper on the deep web, Michael K. Bergman described the philosophical problem of the internet as what cannot be seen cannot be defined.
The jury, I'm
What is
not
defined
monetized,
cannot
but
be
the jury is
understood.
still out on
Such has
whether
been
or
the
not I
case with the
will.
importance of
I don't
databases to
know.
the information content
I'm
on
not
the
sure
web.
I like the terms.
As databases have grown larger and ever more complicated, this problem has only increased. Now it's also applied to everything else. It's time to perform an autopsy on the internet's bloated corpse.
Right. So the theory is that the deeper you go down the rabbit hole, the more artificial programs you run into, fake sites, places that never existed, artificial uploads from people who are setting up ARGs and whatnot. And so it becomes more esoteric the deeper into the code you read. You realize that a lot of the source code is derived from old DARPA projects and stuff. And that gets really freaking creepy.
I mean, the real internet is supposed to be nothing more than hundreds of computers connected with a small piece of the computer showing on yours.
I get it now. I understand why she asked the question she asked. I'm going to need a minute with this.
The dead internet theory, which cohered on 4chan's X board around the end of 2020, start of 2021, is massive. It spans one long post and several supplementary threads, but it can be boiled down to 9 or 10 major points. For simplicity, the arguments alone will be focused on here. It's an argument that the internet is largely artificial, if not outright fake. The anonymous poster's points boil down to these. 1. People seemingly cease to exist on the internet at random. Identities emerge, then vanish. The people behind them, if any, are never known. Even close friends on the internet have a habit of ceasing to exist after a few years. Now, it is the internet, but why leave so suddenly? Perhaps nobody was behind these profiles to begin with? 2. Certain content seems to be recycled or repeated on the internet. It's obvious on websites like 4chan, Twitter, and Reddit. Posters will always bring up the same topics and images.
All right, so here's a direct bit of anecdotal experience. When I started my channel, I largely did jokes, and I went looking for jokes on the internet. And I ended up finding the same 500 jokes printed a bajillion times in the same top 50 clean jokes to tell to your friends or top 25 jokes to tell at the office. And then there were maybe another 200 or 300 that were racy jokes to tell at the office or not safe for work jokes type things. And maybe there's another 200 or 300 of them that are like dad jokes to share with your friends, stuff like that. All told, all of them put together, there might be 3,000 jokes total.
You want to know something funny? You can go to the library and get the book that they all come from. And yeah, everything gets recycled. Look at yo-yos. 20 years ago, they were popular, then they went out of style. They're called fads. That's all the internet is recycling the same fad over and over.
But it
once its time comes back up.
No, there's another feature to this that just seems to be overlooked every time somebody talks about social media. It compresses time in a way that's almost like space travel. A year on YouTube is like 5 years in any other industry. Essentially, you should know within the first 18 months or so whether or not your channel is going to make it, or it's just a labor of love. For me, it's largely been a labor of love, which is why I don't really sweat having, not blowing up to millions of freaking subscribers and having gotten trapped in my little box over here where YouTube wanted to put me. I'm not doing badly, just, yay.
Kind of like how I was surprised yesterday how a 13-second clip got like 2,000 views for no reason.
Yeah, but here's the thing about that. The only reason it only got 2,000 views is because at a given time limit, they take it out of the feed. In your data where it says expected performance or whatever it's called, projected performance, it's got that little hazy line that goes up that tracks your average video performance, right?
Yeah.
Go check out your back end. You got a whole bunch of predictive tools over there. And if you look at it and realize what they are, it basically shows you how they expect your video to do. And you can go there and watch that sucker bump up just a hair above expected and then nosedive off into the expected territory to go all the way to the bottom on the very next second, very next minute. You're getting 8, 10, 50, 70 views, 100 views, 102 views down to 96. And you'll hover right along the bottom for a while, and you might occasionally bump back up into unexpected territory, but don't happen twice. Almost never that I've seen. Now I haven't looked at the predictive algorithm for normal videos. I just recently started uploading like normal length videos, not shorts, not live streams. I don't really do much of that, so I don't have a whole lot of data to compare that to.
Interesting.
Yeah. But just go check all that stuff out. There is a bunch of stuff on the back end that is ostensibly there to help you. I use it as data points because I'm an asshole like that.
Same points start the same controversies over and over. It happens because it gets reactions and bumps threads, but this repeats endlessly, seemingly always belaboring the same things again and again. 3.
I'm getting my inbox, man. Like, email me. Pretty sure my email will be coming around here in a second. Yeah, there it is. CaucasianSasquatch@gmail.com. Give me an email. We'll do a Sasquatch Shills. Get you a few more subscribers there, maybe. Especially if you got some really cool weird shit, we could do that one all night. Like, I love weird shit, dude. The weirder, the better, man. And it don't even have to be all that weird. It has to be quixotic or strange or unusual, esoteric, or not seen every day. Unusual in some way. That's all
If you do a Sasquatch Shills and you stay past like 10, 11 o'clock here in the U.S., you'll start picking up the UK followers as well.
Yeah, I actually have quite a few people in South America, double handful of people in Europe. I've got like four viewers on Tenerife for some weird reason. I only know of one there. Richie's on Tenerife, so I assume his buddies have heard of me or something. I don't know. And I got a double handful in Germany and a whole bunch in Ghana. There's a bunch. Like it's like 12% of my subscriber population are foam farms in Ghana. It's got to be it, right?
I mean, you probably just got one person from over there, and then his whole family started watching you.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Got this one. Lives in what she referred to as India and South Africa. Whatever that is. Little India, maybe. I don't know what she meant by that. We played some Red Dead Redemption online. She joined up on my posse and stuff, and we rode around just terrorizing people. And let me tell you something. That woman rode with me for 2 or 3 days before she asked me what was up with the chick on my horse. Didn't say a word. That woman screaming everywhere we went. In fact, before she asked me about the chick on the horse, she picked her up and put her back on my horse for me one time. But it was immediately after that mission that she asked me, all right, I got to know, why do you have a chick tied up on the back of your horse? That's my wife. She's in the gang with us. She gets a cut. She's like, oh, dear God, you are a monster. So are you. You helped. That way I get 2 cuts. Win if you can, lose if you must. Always cheat.
The same news stories occur again and again. A similar issue to number 2, but with mainstream and independent news sources. The same things seem
Girl,
to
if you
happen every
needed a
few
label on my
years.
channel, I'd
It feels
give you
like
one.
reality is fetching the same set of
But
news
they're all
stories
subscribed to
repeat
you
ad
already.
nauseum. Now, people are boring, but its culture is stuck on a few points. 4.
And if you'd have reminded me, I'd have put it up there. I didn't think about it until I saw him.
Digital predestination. Everything on the internet seems to move towards a certain point in retrospect. The anon in the post traces a direct lineage from the old Raptor Jesus memes.
I just want to throw this out there real quick for AJot. I didn't even post her normal link. I posted her secondary channel link to try to get more people to that because everyone's already subbed to her first channel.
You're right. Almost everybody in here is. Gabby the cat. Well, I'm already married, honey. And I do have an affiliation with Jesus. I'm not sure if I can speak on our bromance with you. What else am I supposed to say, dude? If you love Jesus, marry me. Okay. I've got to go get me some little meme reactions to pop up when things like that happen. So he get the little African dude saying, okay. I just haven't
need a separate control panel just to try to organize them.
No, I don't think so. I think I could do it with StreamYards. I've got an awful lot of stuff I haven't been using because my OBS has been triggering from StreamYards somehow. I don't know how that was happening, but my advanced scene switcher was triggering whenever I would click this thing over here. When I do this, it would trigger a new attempt for the advanced scene switcher to switch in my OBS. And so like every minute and a half, because I wasn't using it much, but every time I touched a StreamYards, advanced scene switcher would trigger. It would count down 3 minutes and then try to change scene on OBS. There's no scene to change to. All of that had been deleted and removed. It had nothing in it to work with. So it was just sitting over there, just eating cache, just eating up memory.
You're going to have to buy some gift cards and start sending them to AJot as payment for being co-host.
Huge non-sexual hug. That's no good. If we're going to be contacting each other in any type of physical fashion, there should at least be a mystery of sexuality about it. I mean, for all I know, you're a large Asian guy. I don't know. And maybe we will hug, large Asian guy or not. I'm not too terribly picky or hard to deal with, to be honest. Threaten me with a good time. Mimetic evolution and digital predestination. A sense of mimetic evolution, mimetic evolution or digital predestination. I'm pretty sure he said we're all screwed.
Frog to the now dozens of splinter cults of cartoon frog image macros. A subpoint to this is the sensation each website exists to condition certain segments of the digital population. 4chan's hackers on steroids were guided by intelligence operations from Habbo Hotel.
It's okay, Gabby. I'm an Ice Age mammal. I'm a Sasquatch. I use a people filter to talk to people online and to do business and conduct interviews. Okay. I'm hip. That wasn't in doubt. But I don't even really claim to be male. If you go check my description, it explains the whole thing. The whole silliness, all of it.
Raids to that one-time Pole Syria general thread helped coordinate a military strike in Syria. The founders of these websites rarely factor in and either disappear into the background or simply wither away. 5. The increase of sexual perversion.
I'll tell you what we can do. If we can get together later, you complete my back hair and we can talk about it.
On the internet. The internet has always been for porn, but there seems to be way more nowadays. There probably actually is. Every fetish exists and is catered to somewhere. Cannot go too deep into this one because, well, frankly, I just don't want to. 6.
So this goes back to my question about the zero-G space porn. If there have been humans in orbit for the past 20 years, where's my zero-G leak video? Where's it at? Shouldn't it exist? I mean, statistically speaking, shouldn't at least one fruitcake have planted a camera somewhere? You can't tell me the NSA didn't film absolutely everything. Everything twice. They had 3 angles.
I mean, it's all filmed, but they're not going to release it to us.
Hey, okay, I'm not saying anything was legitimately released. Where's my leaked space sex video? It should exist.
I mean, I can definitely see them up there doing experiments and the Russian dude hitting on someone from America, the one female astronaut up there with a whole group of guys. Yeah, there's probably at least one video somewhere.
But it hasn't leaked?
No, because NASA probably lost it. I mean, they lost the original moon videos. Come on now.
Actually, you're right. You're exact. They probably did misplace it. It's probably on Agent Smith's cell phone right now.
I mean, they probably watched it, have it at home, and they're just not releasing it.
I was going to go with the real function of the Men in Black is to get rid of sex tapes from space.
Probably.
They're not nothing to do with UFOs. There's the whole thing is an innuendo about revenge porn. They're actually the Secret Service. Oh
no, that's why aliens aren't coming here, is because we haven't released any of the secret sex porn tapes. And they're like, no, that's the first thing our species did was make porn in space. You are too below us until you start doing that.
Right? No. Oh Lord.
Fiction. One of the more extreme positions of the theory that all mass-marketed entertainment, movies, music, books, is generated by algorithms or AIs. It's a modern version of Roald Dahl's
Hold on.
The Great
That got me to
Automatic-
thinking. So in zero G, if you squirt some water out, it continues traveling in whatever direction it travels until acted upon by an outside object because it's in orbit, right? It's falling as fast as it's moving, and so zero G, right? Okay, so it forms a sphere until it reaches something. So stay with me here. Suppose you have an especially potent ejaculation.
Fox big butt.
Can she? Is it like the beginning?
It's probably just floating inside of her, or it's floating in the spaceship until it gets to some surface to make it permanently sticky.
Clean up. Can you imagine waking up the next morning with some greasy shit on your face? It's like, oh, dude. Oh, you slept long enough it crusticated? Money shot.
Oh, that's probably why they have to sleep in sleeping bags, is because of people doing that up there.
so much free floating splooge everywhere. Oh my lord.
I would hate to be the one running a blacklight up there in the space station. The whole thing probably glows.
The theory
look like a Jackson Pollock painting.
Almost. It's just the problem is everything's solidly glowing.
Like evenly in splatters.
Some splatters are a little thicker than others.
From this,
Stop, dude.
it's
Stop
from
it.
an anime
Stop.
image
Stop.
board.
Wrong topic. We're
7.
Elsewhere.
Entire sections of the world are fake. People, events, and places are all deep fakes. Wikipedia allows entire biographies, cities, and historical events to be conjured out of thin air. It's impossible to prove since the internet exists in an omnipresent present. There's no past or future, really. You just exist. 8. The internet on the computer and smartphones is different. Are different? Essentially true with desktop and mobile.
No, you have mobile applications that function on a mobile internet that has all mobile data on it, right? Then you have a desktop application that functions through the normal internet, Wi-Fi, cell phones and stuff like that, provided it has the Chrome or Google adapter, right? And if you're using mobile internet, you don't have access to some stuff that's on like the real internet. Basically, mobile internet still, the mobile sphere still uses basic URLs and stuff. I don't know, probably in Java or some shit now. I don't know what it's in. HTML links.
Mobile sites. But this theory takes it further. These websites are too different. Each one, smartphone and computer, has completely different content when compared to the other one. You just have to pay attention. 9. Tech CEOs are totally aware of this and manipulate it against one another for unknown goals. The internet is a battlefield of fake people fighting fake wars. AI systems already rule. So simple, right? There are extreme points, but it's from 4chan's paranormal board, so it is going to be off kilter. Yet, it is closer to reality than may seem. Studies over the past 20 years indicate the internet may be deader than most think. It may have been this way since essentially the start. Start with the average user of the internet. An idea Harold Weinrich and Hartmut Obendorf's 2006-2008 study, Not Quite the Average, an empirical study of web use, warns researchers away from with the statement, one has to be careful when speaking of the average user of the web. The Weinrich and Obendorf study is an empirical look on how users interact with web pages, and as far as I can tell, it's the most recent study of its type, though now 15 years out of date. Not Quite the Average's age is a boon, though, because it examines the pre-social.
All right. When I was growing up, when I was coming up and the internet started becoming a thing, I could go to the library down here and I could go watch Harvard lectures and Yale and Dartmouth lectures. I could just tune into it and watch with the class. All you had to have was the address. You had to physically type in the address to the lecture you wanted to go see, and you didn't cost nothing. You just signed in on the I believe it was Osiris or whatever, and you could go to any college anywhere in at least the Western world. Anything hooked to the internet that was available, you could go look at the data, you could go look at the studies, you could look at the methodologies, you could look at the people who participated in the studies that weren't listed on the full study, stuff like that. And I don't remember when that stopped being possible. I remember one day I decided to go check on a study about something to do with like dolphin populations in rivers. And I had seen this study once before, and so I kind of knew where to go look for it. And I ran into a paywall, and then I ran into another one. And then everywhere I looked to try to find this study that I had personally seen with my own freaking eyes, you had to pay for it. And I was like, that is weird. Not even a PDF of it? Oh, okay.
I can't remember the name of a movie, but it's about this kid who starts reading books to this old guy, and the kid gets him a phone, and then the old guy passes away. Well, in the movie, the old guy said, I can't believe there's all this free stuff on the internet. One day it won't be free, and then it wasn't. He predicted it all.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the way that works. They utilize the technology to conjoin everybody's mind into a single functioning mass, and then they limit your freedoms away from that technology through the use of that technology. Think about it. The Social Security number was never intended to be your personal serial number. It was originally done to help with the entitlement programs that were coming into effect at the time, and it was really hard to keep track of people. So they set up the Social Security system specifically to track indigent individuals that weren't working out in the normal social manner. So they were listed, and now you got one, and it's your most important information in America is your Social Security information, right?
I wonder how you go about getting a new one.
First of all, you have to commit a significant enough number of crimes to be picked up as a state's witness. And then you enter into the witness protection program and you get a new Social Security number and identification and a job.
I mean, what if you just posted your Social Security number everywhere so everyone knew it? And everyone tries to steal your identity at once. Then you just walk in like, yeah, I'm the real one. I need a new one.
LifeLock. You ever heard of LifeLock? We'll do this on the next week or maybe Tuesday. We'll do this one. LifeLock story. Familiar with that one?
Never heard of the LifeLock story. I just knew about the service.
The service. That's the one. Yes. So back a few years ago, 10, 15 years ago, the founder of LifeLock utilized his own Social Security number in an advertisement for LifeLock to prove that LifeLock worked, and it was immediately stolen by millions of people, proving that LifeLock couldn't do what they were saying they could do. Which is like a hilarious self-fold if you think about it.
Social media internet. The actual study was performed in 2006, which was 1 or 2 years before services like Twitter and Facebook really took off. These statistics then, if anything, have likely fallen as quicker, snappier text has fried web users' attention spans. But what does it say about the 2006 to 2008 period then? Weinrich and Opendorf observed users are divided into two browsing styles: navigate and explore. The navigation style was those seeking a certain web page, or people who navigated towards one source from search results. The exploratory style is exactly what it says. Exploratory users were interested in exploring web pages, sifting through search results, and examining links. Though...
Right. Am I the only person in the room that clicks details on links just to see what the code looks like?
I only use a phone, so I can't do that.
You can. It's just different. But okay, I got you. Back in the day, I kind of moonlighted thinking I was going to be a coder, and then I ended up like reality hit me in the face, and I realized there was no one here capable of teaching me how to code sufficiently. I'd have to go elsewhere, so instead I got a job. But apparently, I learned enough of that crap that I can spot malicious code because it resembles malicious code. Apparently code itself hasn't changed that much because it looks dirty. I can't read it. I don't know what it does. I just knows that that's not supposed to be there.
I mean, it depends on how they're coding it. There's two types of code out there.
There's several types of code, but almost all of them are based out of the same handful of original systems. So the code resembles, if you catch what I'm saying. It's abbreviated, and I couldn't read it to tell you what it does, but I know that that's naughty and basic. It's not something desirable for, say, a web browser. It'd be more likely to be something that you'd find in like a malware pop-up type thing. That sort of stuff.
I just want to see the movie Hackers in real life. And people start controlling buildings, lights, and stuff. Old 90 movies.
Gary, I know I've seen Hackers. I know what you're talking about. Angelina Jolie played one of the that was one of her very early roles. She was one of the hackers. She played what was it, Night Rod or something like that? I can't remember. Cypher. Some shit. That was back when hackers had cool names instead of Uncle Dumpling Float. Super Cyber G.
As web pages have become more centralized around a central column of text, this exploratory style has probably decreased to some degree. The most common navigation actions, according to the study, were hyperlink clicks at 52% of clicks, back button clicks at 41% of clicks, and the other 7 being other archival actions like printing. Though later revisions suggest clicking on page buttons replaced back button for the second most common action a couple of years later. None of these statistics appear to have varied much by navigation style, similar with what the study discovered about location of click frequency. Almost half, 45%, of user clicks occurred in the upper left quadrant of the web page. Pre-2007 websites favored hyperlinks in the upper left of the screen. Social media then has likely realigned this to the center of the screen, but it's probably still true to some degree. What does all this technical interaction have to do with net quality, though? It is in how much users read. That 79% of our test users always scanned any new page they came across. Only 16% read word by word. Even for 2006, 2008, that was not a comforting statistic. Not that scanning is inherently bad, you need it to pick up quick information, but another contemporary statistic does not improve the situation. In 2008, the Nielsen Group published the article, How Little Do Users Read?, in direct response to the Not Quite the Average study. The Nielsen article found how much users read is highly variable by small word counts. The study concluded users generally only read at most 28% of the words during an average visit, but 20%.
I'll buy 20%. I will chew through 20% of something. I too am looking for the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man? He lives on Drury Lane.
28%, I think that's a little high. Most people only read the first letter or two of each word as they read a sentence.
If you've had any speed reading type courses, you can increase the amount you read in a given amount of time. And I wonder whether they're actually counting how long they spend on the page versus how much eye movement actually takes place.
I mean, I don't see how they would know their eye movement unless if they're hacking their camera. They have to only be doing time.
Yeah, something like that. Absolutely. What's up, Graham? Good to see you, bud. Welcome to the show. A little bit later than usual. Like I said, I'm trying to run them a little late. I'm not really trying to add time so much as I am trying to add content, specific stories and whatnot that I want to go back, chop up. I'm losing it.
Percent is more likely on an average web page of 593 words. This percentage does fall with the increase of word count as well, and this was for experienced users too, so people who just take a quick look at the internet are likely even lower. The general conclusion of these studies is that the average internet user does not read that much of what they see on the internet. This is why everything on the internet looks the same. Marshall McLuhan's old adage that the medium is the message. But to explain, the Nielsen Group was able to conclude why the internet looks the way it does all the way back in September 1997 due to this. Readability. It's all about readability. Remember old personal web pages and early corporate websites? The internet used to look a lot more experimental, but homogenization conquers all. What won the internet was simplicity, concise text.
So once upon a time, if I remember right, I think it was either associated with Pizza Hut or maybe they boogered a Pizza Hut link or something. There was this ARG that you could do, and you it's always very nerve-wracking, bro. It's always nerve-wracking. All right. Speak. Speak, Grim.
Grim, is that you?
Is it you, Grim? Have you finally come for me? He's having technical issues. Hit me in private chat when you figure that one out.
You need to put up like a whole screen block first.
I can't do a whole screen block on StreamYards. It sucks. All I have is this. I can do. Wait, is that it? I think that's it. Nope, wrong one. This one. That's it, and that leaves you open. You and him open. You see?
And you can't slide it over top of our avatars.
No, if I try to move my screen at all, it's going to swap me and you. This is just it's all of them that I've tried, even the really wide ones. That's supposed to be a full wide screen. It's just the way StreamYards works. So like I could move you over across the bottom where I have my chat and then move chat into a box in the corner or some such.
I know when I go to like Very Carrie and she's letting people up for the first time, she'll change the whole screen. Like when you go to do your outro and stuff.
Hello, smoking all the time.
There he
Hear me
is.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't this silly? Look at this. This is the overlays they give you in StreamYards. All of them cut off right there. They're absolutely useless to me.
Is that because you're using OBS?
This is the StreamYards clickies. Just like these things. Right there, high yield, mediocre, and aggressively average. You know. I wasn't able to play with those before because my computer would crash every time I tinkered with it. So I'm playing with them. I got a couple of things put in here that I don't know if I'm ready to show yet. But are you familiar with the dead internet theory?
Yes, so.
I figured you would be. You probably killed it. Onward.
Text, scannable layout, and objective language. Wilson's article, How Users Read on the Web, makes why this standardization occurred incredibly clear. The web pages that survived the digital Darwinian thinning process employed scannable text. Things like highlighted keywords, meaningful subheadings, bulleted lists, one idea per paragraph, an inverted pyramid style of writing that starts with the conclusion, and half the word count of conventional writing, so less than what you'd see in a book. The central column alignment of writing cohered to this, an optimized orientation. Articles have evolved into the apex predators of marketability. Okay, so the internet evolved so people would read it more, but maybe only between 16 and 28% actually do, depending on one's interpretation of read. What about what's on the web? There seems to be plenty of content, right? There is, but the whole story is a lot more bizarre. Follow along, it's complicated to explain. Google simply stops at some point, or it appears to stop. Call it the Google conundrum. If a user searches a topic, the amount of estimated results will shrink as they navigate to the end of the search pages. What should be thousands of pages of results from millions of results is reduced to only a couple dozen pages, at most, even with omitted results. It simply stops. You shall not pass. Is Google lying, attempting to make the internet seem deeper than it is? No, the number is an estimate. The actual explanation is just hidden from you. As Google explains, in addition, when you click on the next page of search results, the total number of search results can change. In this case, we realize that some of the query results are duplicates, and collapse those duplicates so that you can find the specific result you're looking for more easily. Collapsing the duplicates decreases the estimated number of results as well as the overall number of results pages. What Google is doing is collapsing duplicate, fake, and useless results. You can see this.
But they choose not to do that until you go to the next page of results. It looks fantastic when you first sign in and you're like, I want to find a joke. There are 2,729,928 jokes. Nope. Less than 5,000. Not counting Chuck Norris jokes. I've already said Chuck Norris jokes occupy their own joke timeline. They are fully canonical, and they don't fit the normal joke profile.
Bit like dad jokes.
Um, yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, no, let's not get into Chuck Norris. I'll start telling Chuck Norris jokes. We'll be here all night.
If you search the name of this YouTube channel, which I of course assume you are subscribed to, wink wink, most of the results are only vaguely related with a lot of automated phishing web pages with barely related topics about my videos. What one has not seen in most search results is the amount of useless data in temporary web pages that would exist in them. It makes the internet appear shallow when it's mostly just junk. Search engines, Google, Bing, DuckDuckGo, Yandex, only crawl the surface of the net. They spider or crawl the web by spinning off results from links and similarities between web pages. Though how this happens varies by website and company, so the service may be different depending. Back in 2006, Not Quite the Average found 98% of Google's search results were updated after 7 days or more. For example, where is everything else? Hidden behind the curtain. What search engines do not index, people now know colloquially as the deep web. The deep web is the rest of the internet that cannot be easily accessed by search engines. It's mostly useless data.
Okay, so what a lot of people think of as the dark web is actually deep web material. If you have the actual link, it's not a link, the actual address to the site, to the channel, to that, you can straight up type that shit into the freaking window and go there. And that's how these sites function. You got to know, you know?
Orphan web
And
pages, website.
just for the record, just so everyone knows, the dark web, even though no one can see my quotation marks I'm doing with my hands, is only a very, very slim sliver of the deep web, just for the record.
Right. I mean, the dark web, by definition, are the illegal things on the web. The deep web are the things that are simply difficult to find, intentionally hidden, not advertised. A lot of ARG stuff ends up in the deep web because once they're forgotten, they're forgotten. It's just out there.
And if the main computer that they're on gets destroyed, it's off the internet after that, or the deep web.
Unless it ends up getting picked up by one of the sites like the Wayback Machine. You know, just sketchy to start with.
Sites, sometimes with illegal content. Hard statistics will always be blurry on it, but some statistics do place the content of the entire internet at being around 4% surface web versus 96% deep web, but that number may be outdated. Today, for example, Google indexes an estimated 5.27 billion web pages, but that also changes by the minute. In his original 2001 white paper on the deep web, Michael K. Bergman estimated, back in 2000, that search engines were only indexing about 1 in every 3,000, 0.03%, of web pages available to them, an astounding drop from 32% of the internet cataloged in 1998 to 16% in 1999 to around 4% or less today. A result of the deep web's unlimited growth potential as link rot, the death of hyperlinks to sources, withers older web pages away into orphaned obscurity. Though, as Bergman warned about this, there is no bright line that separates content sources on the web. There are circumstances where deep content can appear on the surface, and, especially with specialty search engines, when surface content can appear to be deep. The internet is always undergoing a state of natural electric rot due to link rot, so slowly falling into the deep web essentially, but often humans cannot see beyond their tools. It is doubtless the algorithms behind search engines define what the internet is to most casual users. Algorithms now dominate search engines, social media, and yes, even YouTube. Algorithmic processes, by now, have near total control of every major website. Somewhat
Lesson. In case anyone missed it, rewind 30 seconds and listen to that last sentence again.
Inserting, as Robert Kowalski defined the most basic definition of algorithm as logic plus control. Users are fish, and the algorithm is the water. A common observation is algorithms have near totally captured, and to some degree, quarantined off digital culture. a common accusation being algorithms have caused the perceived stagnation of digital culture and thus the entirety of online culture. Algorithms are so distrusted because they serve as the internet's black boxes, a mechanism taken away in the background with little definition of what it is or does. Companies like Google and Facebook keep their algorithms as question marks to maintain market domination. A cracked or obvious algorithm endangers profit as it can be exploited or circumvented. Or as Jay Robarge in our Safer described in What Are Algorithmic Cultures, it threatens the Googleplex, internet megagiant's dominance, or near monopoly, on cultural creation and curation. Granted, the Googleplex concept in theory is not new. Culture critic Neil Postman coined the term technopoly back in the early 90s to describe a similar issue at the time. Postman's definition was developed pre-mass internet adoption, but it still diagnoses a common enough problem to apply now. Postman's theory that, in technological society, the idea of if something could be done, it must be done, has replaced all concrete theory. Culture has been captured by the technopoly, which, as Postman defined it, is the submission of all forms of cultural life to the sovereignty of technique and technology. The core idea of technopoly is progress for progress's sake, without moral or even political direction. There is no such thing as value in itself, as the technopoly replaces all theory with the fetish of optimization. The internet has been optimized into a lobotomized state. As Robarge and Safer described the fetishization of optimization through algorithms. That is to say, the fulfillment of this dream is always one step away from its completion. There is always only one more algorithm yet to be implemented. In other words, it is only such constant algorithmic misalignments that explain the existence of promises and hopes of a smooth algorithmic functionality. Sound familiar? Replace optimization with pointless updates, needless aesthetic changes, and bizarre technical choices that break social media and websites every year. True believers in technopoly see a purpose behind these things, while cynical developers use it to justify their salaries. The idea of good enough for a website or service makes developers redundant. From Adobe's subscription model to the new Twitter timeline and new Reddit format, to even YouTube's talks about removing the dislike button, a feature you can literally turn off, tech giants are obsessed with the concept of the update. Update in abstract. User experience seems a secondary thought against buzzwords like modern and innovative. Ironically enough, the effort for a perfect website has destroyed all trust in these websites. A large number of users have no trust in these massive...
Zero. I assume that they're going to be fishing for and selling my data. I'm one of those assholes that don't give out my phone number to convenience stores. Just put your number in. Discount.
Just go with the old song 876-409. Wait, I said that one.
309. Yeah.
There it is. And it works in almost every store already.
I didn't realize you needed to give your telephone number to a store.
Don't have to. You can opt out by not doing it. Although most of the techs up there, most of the people behind the counter don't know how to do it if you don't. That's not something people do. People just throw their number into every single one of them. I after about 5 years of arguing with the folks at Ace, I finally gave them a phone number, and it was my brother's.
Oh,
I couldn't do it, man.
I mean, most places want your phone number so you don't get one of their plastic cards instead. I have like 30 different cards to different gas stations.
Sure. I'll take the plastic card. Thank you.
It's all about monitoring people individually.
Exactly. They want to know how much of what you buy, where, and when. So you get you a little discount card at the grocery store, and they can monitor all that stuff voluntarily because you signed up for it.
Yeah.
All in the disguise of giving you a discount that they would give you anyways.
Around here, they just scan the desk card. They have a card at the register, and they just scan it. Those points go somewhere. I'm sure they throw pizza parties or something with it. I don't know.
universal websites because the second they grow accustomed to them,
I'm
they
not
change.
currently judging you,
Immersion safer
although we
calls
can
this
get together
concept
later and
the
discuss it.
somewhat unnerving
Hello,
term
don't
of
judge me.
algorithmic production of trust. It obviously no longer exists because, looking at their definition, in turn, users need to believe that their counterparts are real, ergo, they need to trust the social media platform they are using. Thus, the algorithmic production of trust is one of the most important mechanisms of social media platforms. People do not trust the platforms, nor, for the most part, each other, or they trust too much. What about other websites and forums? Why not those? Yes, there are obviously other places on the internet beside the 5 or 7 major social media websites. One could discuss the scattered forms remaining, but social media has produced a rural-urban divide online. I mean, literally online, in digital culture. To explain, social media has a digital brain drain effect. What has occurred online is comparable to the industrial revolutions of the early 1800s, or, as the English poet William Blake described it, these dark satanic mills. Social media websites are the
Well, it's
urban
good to have you,
centers
bud.
of
I'm glad you came
factories
in.
that consume
We
the
do weird
digital
stuff
human
around here.
capital of the online countryside. Forums are ruined, personal websites forgotten, and profiles packed up as users mass migrate to a few central hubs. There they face standardization to what can only be called the internet's metropolitan culture based around YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Tumblr, and other major sites. The immigrants from these smaller internet cultures then have to redefine themselves to fit each website's policy. Certain cultural traits remain among subcommunities and ghettos, but they too are slowly homogenized and grow distant from their origins. A standardized internet language is laundered. Their shibboleths and image macros are integrated into the wider populace and usually sanitized in general forms. What about that populace then? Really, nothing definite can be said about the internet populace overall. Even though it skews younger, is probably not true anymore, if it was ever actually true. It's impossible to say how many people actually use the internet. In 2012, a hacker estimated there were 1.3 billion global IP addresses, but that is not equivalent to users at all. It would be like saying the global population equals the number of vehicles in existence. Current estimates peg it at around 4.66 billion users, but that is only a ballpark number. In 2006, 2007, Jay Leskovic and E. Horvitz used data from Microsoft Messenger's instant messaging system to estimate the links, or 6 degrees of separation, between people. Turns out, online at least, there are only about 6 people separating everyone online. 6.6 to be exact. This may be why the internet often seems so small, as it selects for an exact population, then algorithms funnel these people into groups which persist across websites, or just some form of subconscious group preference. Or, as they described in planetary scale views on an instant messaging network, social networks have been found to be highly transitive, i.e., people with common friends tend to be friends themselves. That's all sort of obvious, though. Look at the actual content of social media then to see how distorted this dead web can be. Twitter. According to Pew Research Center in 2019, about 22% of American adults used Twitter, down from about 23% in 2018, but that was also up from 20% in 2016. I do not expect it has changed much in the past 2 years. Though, today, 17%, 1 in 5, adults are smartphone-only internet users, implying they largely only access the internet through apps. Twitter's problem is it is far from representative of the actual American and global population. In a 2019 study where American adults volunteered their Twitter accounts, they had to directly connect themselves to it, so no anonymous accounts here. Pew Research Center found the top 10% of US Twitter users compose about 80% of the tweets. That highly active 10% of users is about 65% female, 69% say they tweet about politics, and generally lean left liberal. This highly engaged segment tweets about 138 times a month, compared to the astounding 2 times per month the other 90% do. By now, it's obvious Twitter has an amplifying effect on the top 10% since they produce the most content, as engagement equals attention equals advertising money, or however.
Hold up. Wouldn't that apply to virtually any site that utilized that type of algorithmic influence. So stay with me here. The fact that 90% or 80% of women are after 20% of men could very well be completely algorithmically driven.
I mean, most of the time, our advertisements are based off of what our friends are looking up.
That's terrifying and disturbing and true.
Yeah. That's why you'll be talking about your friend's new grill, and you'll start getting links to grills to buy new grills yourself, because they posted on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter that they bought a grill, and
Right.
Twitter and YouTube are connected, and they'll say, "Hey, he's one of their friends. He'll probably want a new grill now too."
Right. We're going to advertise a bigger, better grill. Because you know you got to keep up with the Joneses.
Or Twitter doesn't make money. At least in regards to non-anonymous accounts, Twitter's system launders jokes/ideas by a simple social model. PR Chamberlain developed the listener-talker hub model of Twitter to explain how information is transferred across the website. It could also be called something like the spoke and wheel model. Hubs are users/accounts that act as the main disseminators of information, largely influencers or that top 10% of tweeters. What spokes off from the hubs are talkers and listeners. Hubs are accounts which repeat and transmit between or against other users. Listeners are those accounts who engage little and often only seem to follow or listen. Talkers are those that make the conversation, though, and hubs echo it. Information usually flows outwards from the talkers or conversation makers. Twitter then is basically a one-way conversation happening over millions of people. Target or control hub users and you control the flow of information. Target talkers and you control the content of discussion. How genuine is that conversation? Probably not very. Social pressure and gossip of the day are Twitter. Back in Twitter's early days, Neil...
Okay, no, I was wondering. Our StreamYard chat has completely broken. Like, completely broken. It is no longer showing anybody's chats or anything. I don't have any emails saying anything's wrong. It's still working on this end, on the YouTube side of it. I've got it on screen, so I just can't highlight y'all's comments anymore. For some strange reason, it's just not coming up. So in case you're wondering why I haven't been interacting a whole lot on that front, that I've been fiddling back here trying to get it to work, and all I managed to get in was a T. The rest of that just failed. You see where it spelled out testing and various other crap. It just, none of that's working in StreamYards. Freak.
Wilson observed an actual social contagion effect in regards to the H1N1 swine flu virus. On April 24th, 2009, references to the H1N1 virus made up only 0.2% of tweets. The next day, April 25th, it was 2% of all tweets on the website. What about bots, though? Do those impact the conversation? That is much harder to prove. Here are Twitter's own numbers on that problem. Trust them as you will. The 2013 annual report claimed 240 million monthly
You see that,
active
right?
users. But Twitter said that
Yeah,
there
it
were
popped up on my side and on YouTube.
users.
Right, but
fake accounts.
But you type that into the StreamYard in StreamYard, right?
Yeah.
So that worked. Backstage, it's still working, but it's no longer channeling the chat itself.
I think it's because I changed my avatar.
Maybe. But why would that affect mine?
I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of.
Screw it. We're almost done, bro.
Duplicates and bots. So about 4.5% of the website's population in 2013 were fake, depending on how you define fake. So, has the fourth industrial revolution left the internet an actual Android warehouse then? Once again, it's hard to say, but take a look at Reddit. Reddit's voting system, though not unique to Reddit, has long been accused of creating false, easily fudgeable consensus.
Actually, It stopped working when Grim showed up. Maybe he's trying to hack me. Good luck.
He has been pretty quiet this episode.
Yeah, he's been over there just click-clacking away and eating his chips and crisps.
You're talking about me again?
It's the only topic online.
I have to ask, are you the Grim Reaper show or the Grim Reaper Network right now?
The Grim Reaper Network.
Right. No, as far as the test is concerned, that was to see whether or not StreamYards was working, because when Grim entered, that was I'm looking for the Muffin Man was the last legitimate message that actually came through StreamYards. It has not really worked since. Everything else has been from inside the studio. So my private chat still works, the backstage still works, and if somebody chats in chat, it pops out over here and comes up on YouTube, and it shows up on my screen. But I can't highlight y'all's anything. I don't understand it. I've even
It happens. It's a bug in StreamYards.
Encourages in opinions guaranteed to generate the greatest rewards possible. Involuntary self-optimization. The pool of 430 million monthly active users means returns are rarely diminishing, and because how Reddit's front page works. Reddit's system flaws have been talked to death, but, like with Twitter, who is using that system? Reddit users are worthless. Not being cruel here, it's economically true. Back in 2019, Reddit's ARPU, average revenue per user, was believed to be about 30 cents. So the average Redditor's soul is apparently about 30 cents, compared to Twitter's of $9 and about 50 cents, and Snapchat's of around $2. Why is that? Reddit's user base slants young and male, so less money and they use ad block. It may also be because Reddit accounts are largely disposable. Besides a username, they can be pretty bare bones. A user usually does not even need to add an email address to make one. Reddit accounts probably also collect less personal information. That can be a good or a bad thing depending on your interpretation. So there is less personal data for targeted advertising. It could also be because no one knows the exact number of fake accounts.
Right.
Not
you
even
type that
Reddit.
into YouTube.
More complicated
that
bots
came up
are hard to
in
tag
YouTube,
on Reddit,
but not
so
in
an estimate
StreamYards.
is nearly impossible. One would think Reddit, being a site that requires more complicated engagement, would dissuade bots. It is a hurdle, but not always a problem. The subreddit r/subreddit simulator proves bots can mimic Reddit posters with a little logic. Once again, Reddit users' souls are apparently about 30 cents. Bot accounts powered by Markov chains, logic chains, which scrape from certain subreddits, put on the performance of users interacting. It's mostly nonsense, but sometimes there's a monkeys on typewriters example of randomness producing something interesting. Back in October 2020 as well, Philip Winston discovered a bot powered by the much stronger GPT-3, Generative Pre-trained Transformer 3, had been posted on Ask Reddit for a week. It went by the username The Gentle Meter and generated a bunch of in-depth posts that received some response. Granted, it appears the creator intervened to respond to other users, but most were unaware of the original posts being by the bot. It was more proof of concept than anything. What about YouTube? It's not much better here. Faceless hordes of viewers make it even worse in some respects. Despite policies, fake views and fake subscribers still flourish on YouTube. There is very little that can actually be done due to how YouTube's impression system works. A view is a view, even if done by a bot. Fake viewership is its own YouTube cottage industry. In 2018, TheVoomy.com reported that they made over $1.2 million over 3 years by selling 196 million YouTube views across the platform. Facebook, in a similar fashion, has been accused, and basically admitted to, massively inflating view counts. That was under their own volition. It wasn't someone else faking it. It's not
All right, check this out. So when I started doing my research on YouTube to try to do the things that I'm doing with CwS Killers, where I go and I find creators willing to come on a live stream and discuss their channel, I have to first wade through the mountains of fake accounts. that have uploaded exactly 3 videos just to seem legitimate. And those 3 videos are ripped from somebody else's content, and you will never figure out who these people actually are, right? Then you have some dude, I have seen some things. I am for real, man. Like, there's stuff that would curl your hair out there on YouTube that's just available if you know the actual link to it. It never shows up on trending. It never pops up on the homepage. It's not that type of stuff.
There's stuff on YouTube where you have to change your language on your keypad to type in random symbols to see some of the craziest shit ever on YouTube that you wouldn't think they would allow.
Yeah. No. You're right. What's it called? Like hyper. No, that's not hyper. It's something else. It's like cyberbed or something like that. There's this. It's like a separate language in nothing but exclamation points, periods, and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
It's wild. Numbers and like capital letters versus lowercase letters and stuff like that.
Have you ever changed your keyboard on your phone to like Arabic or Chinese symbols and stuff like that?
Not on purpose.
Well, try it on purpose just to see what happens when you type in random symbols.
Hey, Carrie, welcome in. I don't got no functioning StreamYard no more. I think we're going to end this just as soon as this video's done. You go ahead and go to bed, bud. I can't highlight your comment or nothing. So
surprising when you realize YouTube undergoes waves of pruning. Very few target view numbers, though. YouTube really started removing inactive and fake accounts back in 2014. A somewhat important event in YouTube history because some channels lost an upwards of 20,000 subscribers from it, knocking them under certain subscriber goals at the time. Why the grand bot purge of 2014, though? Well, back in 2013, YouTube feared the inversion, as developers called it. What was/is the inversion? In 2013, YouTube reported nearly half the website's traffic was bots masquerading as people. YouTube's developers feared if the percentage of bots kept increasing, YouTube's algorithm would flip. It would think bots were humans and humans were bots. The algorithms would then cater to automated bots instead of human users. The bots would become the audience. Another example of algorithms' questionable nature. The inversion never happened, probably, but it was a possibility until the purges of 2014 attempted to adjust the website's mechanical organic demographics.
We think.
YouTube
they didn't tell us.
The rule when it comes to online, though. The majority of internet traffic is probably normally robots of varying types. As already covered, it's hard, if not impossible, to get numbers on internet traffic. But some have attempted estimates. In 2016, the security firm Imperva reported, by their own count, 51.8% of internet traffic was bots and 48.2% was human. Basically the same as 2012 numbers, depending on source, but it varies. Most will say automated traffic accounts for between 50 to 60% depending on year. The majority of internet traffic is bots, though. The legitimate bots are those that serve a utilitarian purpose. Spider bots index/crawl websites for search engines, trading bots perform automated trades on merchant sites, and media bots perform your basic everyday video/picture loading functions. Malicious bots want your personal information or to burden your website. Spam bots spam, hacker bots attempt to force access accounts for identity information, botnets create fake traffic, and download bots strip resources from websites. Imperva reckoned that the difference of legitimate and malicious bots at 22.9% to 28.9% of internet bot traffic. Imperva believes the most common type is the impersonator, believed to account for 24.3% of internet traffic. Not bot traffic, internet traffic in total. Impersonators are fake accounts and those used for denial of service attacks. Yes, in the barest interpretation, 24.3% of internet traffic is fake or empty users. It's impossible to say how complex.
That's a bit like YouTube.
They see me trolling. They hate it. That is the power of trollery.
There speaks an ex-troll.
I'm just saying, when you bring down the hammer on somebody, it's not fun for the troll either. To be honest, it's funny, but it is effort and work to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
I mean, it takes what, average of like 20 seconds to a minute to make an account, and you gotta think some trolls have thousands of accounts.
Dude, look, I used to have. Let me finish this, and then we'll talk about it.
Or smart they are in general, though. So, is the internet dead? No, lobotomized or maybe automated is a better term. Even hollow, if one will bear the reference. Facebook's feed fetcher, itself an automated bot/program, is believed to produce about 4.4% of all website traffic. That's just the thing that updates your dad's timeline on Facebook. Bots have become so bad 18 states prohibited automated ticket purchasing software, the first 3 being right at the start of the mass internet. Wisconsin in 1995, Utah in 1996, and Alaska in 1997. In 2016, the United States even passed the Better Online Ticket Sales Act, or BOTS Act, which intended to help suppress automated mass ticket scalping. It's similar in Asia. Fake viewership and followers have become such an issue in China. The PRC, through the People's Daily, declared war on bots as a social technological issue. It's an open secret. Fake paid-for viewership is one of the pillars of the Chinese live streaming industry. Water armies, as the term apparently transliterates from Chinese, interesting, of fake bot accounts have been legislated against by the Chinese government. So it's not only the English internet which is hollow. Everywhere the web faces automation until termination. In Technopoly, Neil Postman raised the question, will the computer raise egocentrism to the status of a virtue? Yes, it definitely has.
Yes.
But nobody would believe it could be so
Absolutely.
solipsistic. Tools are an outgrowth of humanity. The internet is an outgrowth of tools. So, by transitive property, the internet is an outgrowth of humanity, an outgrowth of us. Postman's forerunner, Marshall McLuhan, said electric media is simply an outgrowth of the central nervous system. The internet, then, is where everyone's nervous systems collide. The fish cannot much see the water nor notice the pool is shrinking. You swim in websites, articles, videos, and social media posts every day, but hopefully not too much, or you'll drown. Postman feared the technopoly would produce an egocentric world. But what if the internet is undergoing ego death? Not human ego, though. Its own.
That's just a crazy thought.
Ashen One, hearest thou my voice still?
Yes. Nice.
I want to know how much the walls of cell phones cost.
Oh, yeah, no. I've always wondered that myself because, I mean, really? How long does a head transplant take? The true story of Davy Jones. The twisted case finally solved in 2023 by a podcast. We're going to be checking those out in the next week or so. And also
Yes.
Detective. Yeah. Although that was
Go ahead.
That one's really, really long, and it's probably going to be its own standalone show.
But speaking of head transplants, did you ever hear about the real Cerberus?
The dog?
Yeah.
All right, tell me.
Back in like the 1940s or 50s or something like that, there was some doctor who literally transplanted a head of one dog onto another dog's living body and kept them both alive.
For how long?
A while.
Well, I thought it was until the locals stormed the castle because they didn't like Frankenstein.
Point. He's got a point.
I'm sure it was in Germany. What you're referring to?
Your problem.
I think so.
All right, so y'all got anything y'all want to say to everybody before we dip?
Good evening, good night, and good morning from Ohio. See you all in the next live stream.
I hear you, baby. All right.
I'm from the UK. Thank you for turning up, and I wish you all the best and peace.
Hey, that's straight from Death himself. You can't beat it with a stick, can you? I appreciate each and every one of you's time. Sasquatch loves you all. And we're going to do the original new outro that I did for the year. I don't think I've used twice.
Sorry. Good news, though. We're going to have to move the party somewhere a little bit more private, but you're all invited. Lorenzo will give you the details. Yeah!
Hey, she was a cutie in a sundress. I told her I just had to confess. I got a crush on you, but